Okay, Welcome to the Colin Show. Oh my god. Fuck. Seriously. Sometimes don't you seriously just want to go, fuck? Am I the only one who's just like, shit? Seriously though? When you think about everything, when you think about all of it, makes me want to say, damn, shit, fuck. Okay, anyway. We're doing the Colin Show. We're sort of, maybe turn this down. I'm being a little loud. It's the Colin Show. If you've never listened to the Colin Show before, what happens is I talk here for a little bit about something for a few minutes, and then a number appears on the screen. We could probably take this down. The show starts now. And you'll be able to call in. And I have no control over who gets in the calls. It's just whatever happens. It's Google. There's only one line. There's no line waiting. It's just through some sort of technological, I hesitate to say algorithm, but a thing, some sort of a thing, whatever Google's system is, that's how you get in. It just happens. People get in and I answer whoever gets in. I don't think I've ever purposefully turned down a call. I've accidentally hung up on people, but it was an accident. Swear to God. Fuck. Come on. Wouldn't hang up on somebody. I mean, I would if the right circumstances happen, but they haven't yet. So, anyway, all I'm saying is if you never got in, it's not my fault. Okay, what we're talking about today is rage again. It's sort of... This topic comes up a lot on this show. All right, in different forms. We've had a couple bitchin' streams. This is now the second rage stream. I'm thinking maybe today we could learn maybe how to control our rage. I know I said the title was Engage Your Rage. That was to attract the rageaholics, like myself. You thought maybe this was going to be about just screaming and yelling, and it is. It's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to control your rage. I'm probably going to provoke your rage. But I know that me personally, woo! Woo! I tend to really engage my rage, and it's never had a positive outcome. I've never engaged my rage and felt like I made the right decision, So, if anyone's got any tips on how to handle that, don't tell me to count to 10. Actual therapists tell people to actually count to 10 when they get angry. It's so fucking annoying to me. Like, I remember being told that when I was 5, and like counting was a new thing, and it was sort of like novel. It's like, oh yeah, you just learned how to count to 10. It's kind of like, it's like a feat that I can accomplish. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's like you get distracted along the way, so you kind of forget about your rage. But now, counting to 10 doesn't do it for me anymore. Okay? When I get really fucking mad, I'm just like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not, that doesn't help. How could that possibly help? Does that help someone? If that helps someone as an adult, please call in and tell us about it. Maybe you've got a special counting technique, or maybe, I feel like it takes more. For a truly insane person to step down from the rage cage, to get off that roller coaster, it's going to take a little bit more than counting to 10. Probably. If counting to 10 solves your rage, you probably don't have a rage problem, is what I'm saying. You're probably not actually that angry if you're just simply increasing the sequence. I don't know how to say this, but you know what I'm saying. Like that's That's not a solution. But I'm open to other solutions. You know, I've heard like the different therapy things. CBT, not cock and ball torture, whatever the other one is. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Count to 10. I don't remember. I don't remember any of the tips, actually. I remember them being like, don't ruminate. Ruminate's a big word with that crowd. It's a big word with me, too, because I love to ruminate. I think I need a stronger word for it, because ruminate kind of implies that you're, like, silently, maybe unknowably thinking about something, you're seething in some way. But I really, I make it known, sort of, it's clear that I'm angry when I'm angry. The reason I'm bringing all this up, hey, it's gonna be a small story here. I went on a free trip lately. I went on a I was gonna say vacation, but I don't really work, so sort of just a trip, I guess. Although I am working again soon. This is quickest tangent. I'm working again. I've got another minimum wage job. It's been years. My other real job has dried up significantly, so it's time to get back to work. I'm going to be working at Target for, minimum wage, New York minimum wage, so it's nice, but it's also gets erased by New York taxes. But yeah, so just if that might be something you want to know. The minute hours just working at a Target, just like you. You guys probably have better jobs than that. So good. Good. Anyway, I got invited to go on this trip to Creator Clash 2, the iDubbbz YouTuber boxing event that I guess is for charity, although they certainly didn't mention that during the event. It was sponsored by Fansly. I saw a lot more Fansly than I did charity. I went to this thing. Didn't want to go at first because I thought, I want to see the YouTubers fighting each other, but I don't want to see them interacting with each other beyond that. I only want to see them punching each other. But sort of like, my friends were like, whoa, we'll pay for everything. I was like, all right, well, damn, why not? And then it turned out it was a whole VIP thing. We were in a VIP group. And so we were really just rubbing shoulders with the YouTubers the whole time. But it was open bar and there was free food. It was horrible. I mean, it doesn't matter. Food doesn't matter to me when I'm drinking, It's like the open bar was the important thing. So I drank a whole lot. I was just watching all these YouTubers in the VIP lounge at the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. And it was it was interesting. It was like a lot of internet-looking dudes, like sort of fat, hairy dudes, and a lot of turbo thoughts. There's significant e-girl presence. Everybody there was just, they had bright, colorful hair and wearing just crazy outfits. Nobody looked like a normal person. There was like maybe 5 or 6 normal people in the whole thing, and the rest of these people just look like fucking aliens. They look like the Hunger Games people, like just, whatever. Like I'm sure they're dressing up because they want to have fun or whatever. So whatever. But there's no one that I recognize. Nile Red. You guys ever watch his videos? I saw him coming out of the bathroom, but I didn't say anything. It was too sudden. And I had to pee also. But Nile Red. I don't think I talked to anybody. Oh, I did talk to okay. Another quick tangent. Hey, YouTube recommends us all things that it knows that we're interested in them, even if we could never verbalize it. Now these hot women who play chess on YouTube called the Botez sisters, and one of them was fighting in the fight. And I knew of the Botez sisters before this because YouTube, recommended me some, it's just I just see a thumbnail. It's like hot lady in a hot dress is going up in chess against the old New York hustler. I'm like, that's compelling content. That's a good hook. And so I watched, a few of those, maybe 5, 10, I don't know. And now it's like all on my feed, all the Botez sisters stuff. So I did make a point to talk to my preferred Brotez, my preferred chess sister. It was just one of those weekends, man. It was weird. There was a lot of weird shit going on. I guess the reason I was getting into this is because I did have a rage event at Creator Clash. One of those times where I sometimes go briefly insane when I feel like I've been wronged. Just this fucking guy. There was this big British, what's the word? Well, it's not important. What he was a dick, man. He was just this guy. Okay, so we were in the middle of our seating arrangement here. It's just sort of these folding chairs because we were in the VIP, so we were right next to the ring. You could hear the punches reverberating. It was great time. We were in the middle of this row, and me and my party were getting up a lot because we wanted to drink every 5 minutes, and also we had to pee every 10 minutes. So we were doing a lot of getting up. And the people at the end of the aisle, were making a big show. After the first few times, was making a big show like, oh, we have to get up again for these fucking people, And hey, I get it. We were getting up a lot. So, like halfway through Creator Clash, I went up to the people. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to offer them our seats so that we could have the outside so that we can stop bothering them. And I was saying that to this gentleman very nicely, very, because I wanted to help. Also, I wanted to just fucking go to the bathroom without getting this fucking guy's like, ugh. And he immediately told me to fuck off. And I was shocked, and I stood there and tried to, explain like, oh, no, I'm not being a dick. I'm trying to help you. And he told me to fuck off again. And then I was like, what's the problem, bro? Like, all I'm saying is we can arrange this so you don't have to keep getting up. He told me to fuck off for a third time. And it made me mad. And I did fuck off then because I was like, I'm not going to get through here. So there's seemingly no point to continue this. And if he won't move, then it's fucking his fault. I have to keep coming in and out. Like, then every time that he's upset, it's kind of like feels good for me. Because, like, I tried to help you. I tried. But so then I was waiting to go back to my seat. I was being nice. I was waiting to go back in. So we just had this conversation. I left to go to the bathroom. I saw Nile Red in the bathroom. And I went and I got a drink. And I came back and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait till this fight's over before I go back in there, just so this guy doesn't start something, because he was being like, I was being like, hey, what do you want? And he was like, fuck off. And he was British, but I can't do the voice, but it was a horrible voice. And so I was just waiting in like the aisle, and the fight ended, and this guy walked past me, and I'm like I'm stationary. And he fucking shoulder checked me. And he was a bigger dude than me. He shoulder checked me, and he immediately turned around and got all up in my face, like squaring up. And like, you don't want to fucking mess with me, bruh. You don't want to fucking go there. It's not what he sounded like, but this is the only British voice I could do. Like, you don't want to even fucking go there, bruv. And I was just, like immobile and silent. Because I was shocked again that this fucking guy was doing this. And I realized later, like, that was my moment. That could have been the most iconic minute-hour moment if I just headbutted that guy. Because it's kind of like what you have to do when a guy's, like, really up in your grill squaring up to you, because, like, your hands are, like, below. So you can't really raise them and do. But that's a perfect moment for a headbutt. And it would have gone down in history as the greatest headbutt of all time. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I felt paralyzed in the moment because I was just like, can't believe this fucking guy. And he eventually left after like 30 seconds of that. And then the worst thing happened. The thing that really set me off. He left. And all of a sudden, like 3 different little YouTuber minions just emerged from the crowd. They weren't like friends with this guy, but they came up to me and they're like, "Oh man, don't mess with that guy, man. Like, do you know where he's from? Like, he's got some sort of Netflix thing. Like, stop bothering that guy." As if I was the fucking problem. And it made me insane because it was just like these fucking little obsequious little cum-tard YouTubers. The only thing that they can understand is just like, who's got more like social cred? Who can I suck up to? Ugh. Okay. I can't even get into a full thing about it because I've done this so many. I've done this rant out loud to myself so many times since this happened because I have a problem. Because from then on, after that moment, I was so angry and I was just 100% sure that I was going to attempt to murder this man. Like, I really, really wanted to see his fucking blood, and I wanted to show those YouTubers like, oh my god, look, he's just a fucking person, like, fucking stomp on his throat, and he's just like, he's dead. Oh my god, now his Netflix thing doesn't mean fucking anything. You're not gonna get his Netflix show anymore, bro, because he's fucking dead. And I was getting really really animated about it, and it was only by the grace of having my friends there who were, you know, probably not having a great time, just trying to calm me down. And I had to, I couldn't stop myself. I had to be physically restrained from going up to this guy a final time and really fucking starting something, because I got so mad. And I'm so glad that my friends were there, because if I had truly engaged my rage as I wanted to so badly, and I mean, it's just a feeling more compelling than anything in my life, more than love or depression or hunger, was this rage, was the desire to turn this rage into a blood red feud. But if I had actually done that, you know, I'd be fucking sitting in a Florida jail cell. My entire life would be ruined. So I'm trying to figure out, how does a person control such a feeling, if not for having several friends there to physically stop you? I don't know. I still don't know. And I'm not done with this fucking guy, by the way. I figured out who he was. I'm not gonna say who he was, but this is not over. All right, I will get my revenge in whatever way I can think of, and it's not gonna be over until I get my revenge. All right, I might lay off it for a while, but it's in there. All right, I've got the information, I've got the rage, and someday I won't say exactly what I'm gonna do, but something horrible is gonna happen, and I won't be physically present to be blamed for it. All right, anyway, I can't give any more information than that. I'm going to turn on the phones now. So we're talking about rage. You can talk about your rage, or you can tell me how to calm my rage. You can try your best. Don't say you're sorry for me. That's the one thing that's not allowed, because, you know, I get it. He was being a dick. But also at the same time, I was going insane with rage. That's the problem. Because people are dicks, and that's just like something you got to deal with. So that's where I want to direct this. How do we deal with this rage? Or just tell us about a time you were righteously raging about something. All right, the number is 518-288-7938. You can call in now. Ooh, we got somebody.
Call from
Quate.
Yo!
Quate. Yo, what's up?
Long time no talk. Listen, I get angry too, bro. I'm an angryman.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a method. I don't know if it works for you, but we'll see. I'll let you know my method.
I'm collecting methods.
Okay, method number 1. Actually, it's funny. I'll skip to the middle, and then I'll go back to the beginning. One of the times I tried this method, I was physically in person with you, and it did not go well at all.
You were controlling your rage?
You remember that? You know roughly what I'm talking about?
You were controlling your rage or my rage?
No, neither. The homeless man. The very, very large homeless man.
Wait, this is a horrible method. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the worst method I've ever seen.
I love this. I still do this method.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I still do the method. So so I'm half-blooded, kind of, because my mom is very very angry person sometimes. But my dad is real mild-mannered, passive-aggressive, so I get my brain, I can tell, is splitting between the neurons I got from my mom's genes and the neurons I got from my dad. So like sometimes I flit into the hyper rage and then I go back into the like passive-aggressive rage. And so this flitting between the lines works perfectly with one outlet, which is petty anger, take it out in a petty way. While acting aloof. That's the goal, is to act aloof. And you kind of did this with the guy, but then or the guy you were talking about at the seat, but I think you slipped too far into the angry. You just got to keep being aloof. I know.
Because
I'm happy to elaborate.
To win those anger situations, you have to not get angry. It's like if someone's getting angry at you, the only way to win is to not get angry as well.
You can be whatever you are inside, but you have to present something else outside, I think.
So yeah, tell us an example of when you've done this.
I think every day, I'm laughing thinking about it. Every day I go outside. I recently had a long unemployment stint in New York City. Over the winter, I live in New York. I live in Manhattan, and I had a lot of time to myself, so I was taking many walks. And I noticed a recent pattern of bicyclists on the sidewalk. Bicyclists, people delivering food, have decided to take the sidewalk to themselves, away from the pedestrians.
And they've got their own lane.
War no one is speaking of.
They've got their own special lane.
They lobbied. Yeah. They have their own special lane now. They lobbied for a lane. They got it, right? They won the war against the cars. But now that is not enough. One lane is not enough, and they want the pedestrian sidewalks. So I, as a pedestrian, I have actually never learned how to ride a bike.
Oh.
For some reason, and so I have no empathy for bicyclists. There's no part of my brain that understands what they're going through. So I hate them. I hate them with a passion, especially when they're on the sidewalk. Because I live on the street with lots of old people on it, 80 plus geriatrics.
Wow.
People I hate for independent reasons. I hate them too. But I feel bad for them when they get nearly, bonked by these bicyclists with have you seen them with these giant backpacks full of food? They have these big crates that they're strapped to, and they have huge, it's crazy.
They hit them from the back?
They're going 30 miles. What?
They hit him from the back with the crate?
Well, they kind of cut him off, and so they cut him off, or they bump into him a little bit. I've never seen an old person just flat out splattered to the ground.
They got a lot of
I've
added.
Definitely seen some.
They got all that added momentum, all the extra weight.
Oh yeah, they're in dangerous territory with all that extra weight. And by the way, the real person I hate in this story is the person ordering the food in Manhattan. You live in it is the easiest place on earth to walk 5 feet and get any food that you want. And you decided to make some less than minimum wage worker risk their lives and go super fast on the sidewalk just to get your fucking McDonald's
Everyone is
hate that.
a victim
Pay
in this
$80.
scenario. The old people on the
Except
road,
for me,
the bicyclists.
I'm the protagonist.
Oh, okay. So what do you do? What do you do when a bike is careening towards an elderly fellow on your block?
Every single time. There are variants on this method, but the rough structure of the method is this: get in their way. Literally, just get, like, if they're coming towards you, or even if they're going the same direction as you, just step right in front of them. And here's the variants on the method, right? The aloof method is to pretend you don't see them, right? You're looking. I like to look in people's windows, and so I look. I look at whatever people are watching The Simpsons or whatever people are doing in the windows, and so I'm like looking and watching The Simpsons. I'm not paying attention supposedly, and I step directly. If I'm on the right side of the sidewalk and they're on the left, I take steps left to get a better look at the building I'm looking at. So I step in front of them. Man, they get real mad. But you play dumb. See, you play dumb. They get mad at you. They start getting off their bike and like kind of glaring at you. You get many glares. And you just go, "What?" You use that voice. That's what you should have done, by the way, with that British guy. You use that voice. The third time he says "fuck off," just go, "Oh, I don't know.
What? Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, just use the dumbest voice. Use the dumbest voice you can muster to pretend to feign innocence.
It disarms them.
And they will be so taken aback. Sorry?
Yeah, it disarms them.
It disarms them completely. I don't know. I was just walking here. I'll walk out of here. No problem. And then when they get back on the bike, first of all, my goal is to get them to not ride on the fucking bicycle on the sidewalk. So if they get back on the bike and they start riding again, I almost always just walk right in front of them again. Like even if I have to back up and step back in front of them again.
Nice.
And I pretend like I have some walking disorder or I have a limp or something and I stumble backwards. I don't know, man.
You can only walk by do-si-doing. Yeah, all right. That's a good.
Yeah, there was a.
Go on.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it's a good method. Yeah, I can only do-si-do anywhere.
All right, so this works. Like you're able to express your rage in a non-rageful way. Like it doesn't appear to be rageful. You're doing what's that Reddit term? Weaponized incompetence.
Weaponized incompetence. That's good. Let me think about this for a second. It's like you're inside of my head. I have a severe anger at them. While I'm going, I'm in my head, I'm just like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. That's over and over what's going on in my head. It's like I want this person to keel over immediately. So I somehow some function in my brain is converting that into making me look stupid in front of them, but my goal is to fuck with them. My goal is to make their day worse, and in that way I'm succeeding. Right?
It's an interesting.
I'm winning.
It's an interesting mix of you're sort of not being directly confrontational to avoid that kind of confrontation where maybe things could get ugly, but just you're starting a confrontation with them, but also denying that it is a confrontation at the same time. That's a mind fuck.
Denial of the fact that we're even angry. Mind fuck.
You're gonna make these people insane.
Yeah, that's my goal. I do this every day. This is not a joke. I mean, I'm employed now, so I'm not out on the street at lunchtime as much anymore. But back when I was doing that, it was 2 to 3 bikes a day I was doing this with. And man, I hope I'm making a difference.
You're definitely making an impact. You're sending all these delivery bikers down insanity spirals. Doing good work
all day.
You're doing good work in the city, Quate.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Thank you very much. That's my advice.
All right, it's good talking to you, man.
Yep. See you around. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay. Good. There's a method. That's a it's nuanced. That's a complex method because it is starting the confrontation, but also it's like, whoa, what? What confrontation? What are you talking about? It's a simple mistake. You do that. It's a good way to provoke someone.
Call from
Elias.
Was it Elias? Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hi, was it Elias?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What's up, dude?
Hey, nothing too much, man.
We're
Checking out the show.
We're talking rage. You have examples of your rage, or maybe how you could control your rage if you do know how. Or maybe you were the victim of rage. Oh, sorry, go on.
Personally, I just have a long fuse, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I don't know, like, things don't typically dig deep enough. Like, somebody has to be really disingenuous or mean-spirited or something to, like, really get at the core of me, I guess.
Mm-mm. Has that happened?
More times than I can say, yeah.
So there is a specific thing that gets at you?
This is ignorance.
Ah.
Like just like that, or just being like disrespectful, or not really, just sort of like paying lip service to, like standard notions of courtesy and stuff like that, I guess.
Okay.
But I'd say that, like, one of my best mentalities for combating it, honestly, is to just imagine everybody as, like, some kind of just giant fucking, like infant. Like, literally just a bobble-headed infant, like, wandering around. Because, honestly, that's where a lot of people are at. And I think, if anything, the past couple of years have definitely, like, demonstrated that people, like, don't really have any sort of will or guidance of their own. Just kind of follow along, do as they're told, and just do.
So is the idea, like, if someone is doing something that's really particularly upsetting you, you think of them as a baby, and it's like, oh, well, they're just a little baby. I can't really hold it against them. Like, is that am I getting at it?
Yeah, because in most, like you were stating, when you were first starting out in the show here,
mm-hmm.
You kind of step outside yourself and you look at yourself in that third person perspective, and you realize how foolish you look
mm-hmm.
when you act out in that manner.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you extrapolate that on somebody else, like, I mean, you throw the motley on them and you just kind of laugh at it. It's like, dude, you're being completely fucking infantile. Like that, or even in your, I guess your confrontation with that British fellow is bad.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I find it incredibly difficult to have that awareness in the moment. Like, when I feel like, and it, like the first parts of that event were just like the guy being mean to me, like those, I found those more ridiculous than upsetting, really. But it was when other people started coming out from, like, who had nothing to do with it. Just like they just started coming to me to defend him because of, they thought that, like, he was the more powerful, like, social guy in the situation. That was what set me off, was just like that's like, it just made, that's just, it's hard not to ruminate on that and think, like, this is how the whole fucking world works. It's not about, like, who is right or wrong. It's just like, who has the most power in the moment. That's all anybody cares about.
So yeah, like vicarious power plays. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not doing it to support themselves in any sense other than, like, in an egoic sense. But I mean, do you think they could take you? Like, I don't think, like, were you squaring them up and being like, nah,
No,
these
it's
guys are fucking chumps. Like,
they weren't even they weren't being weirdly physical at all, but it's just like them being like I need to leave that guy alone when like he was the guy. Dude, I mean, it's so petty to bring it up. This is why you're right, is because, you know, after the fact, it's very clear that like it was all just really stupid and meant nothing. So like to actually put, you know, to actually do anything in that scenario that would have real consequences would be incredibly stupid.
well, yeah, because then actual, you know, weight comes to bear on you, and you're like, oh shit. Like the real people you don't square up against fucking show up, and then it's like, oh wow.
Right. And this guy
So,
was
like,
probably
what
just
do I
trying to
do?
get me to, you know, get a rise out of me so that I could be just like hauled away.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and that's the question: is the like, what? How much malicious intent goes into these sort of reactions?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like most of these things are surface level. They're not considered. And okay, I know everybody's gonna freaking like freak out when I say this. I know for how tired everybody is hearing about Jordan Peterson. The one notion that I remember hearing from one of his talks was basically the same idea, and the whole idea of them communicating through thermic reactions, which is them, you know, whaling, increasing their body temperature and everything else, and then using that as a way to, you know, call for help or say I'm in need or wants or anything else, because they don't have a higher layer of communication. And I mean, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, in freaking Western America, yeah, no, it's broken households and just this weird sort of duality between beat out the competition, but also play by the rules. Like, you get what I mean there? Like, there's this weird sort of like social contract that's sort of believed to be a thing, but then people just sort of flout the rules in the face of it. Like, I'm not, and that's the thing. Like, I want to draw the silver lining in the whole thing and say that, like, yeah, there's no malicious intent. People are just merely reacting to a response that, of course, happens from an initiation like that. I guess I'm just trying to, like, search for words here. My bad.
No, I think.
Oh, yep. I see it. Lobster posting hours. Yep. Lobster gang boys. Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. It's hard in the moment when someone is like engaging that kind of I don't know, when they're doing that sort of thing, when someone starts yelling at you, let's just say, let's actually drop like the particulars of the scenario I was talking about. But if, like, say you're like say you're a customer service worker, like I've done those jobs, and when someone starts yelling at you because you made their drink wrong or something, like, and I mean like actually yelling, like, it's for me. It's like, you know,
people threatened to like shoot me over a $2 air freshener, man.
Even if it's not that like that.
That people are fucking.
That's a particular.
That people are willing to just completely diminish the persona of another is like, it's baffling. Like, trust me. That's why I laughed when you were like, "Do you have any stories of it?" And I'm like, dude, like I've had people literally just take no consideration of you almost.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I know people who can get that and just like be totally disaffected by it. I think like maybe if you have like incredibly good self-esteem, it's probably easier to just be like, this is just some fucking idiot. Like this doesn't affect me. But it's like, that's kind of how I felt like with this guy. And my thing was like, when he was doing it, it wasn't really affecting me. It was when like other people were like, I was starting to become the minority in this situation where like people were telling me that I was the problem. Like my self-esteem wasn't high enough to be like, hey, all you fucking little minions, get the fuck out of here. Like I don't give a shit. But it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Like, it's weird. The more people come to a situation like that. Like if you were in a customer service job and someone started yelling at you, the clear response from the other customers is just like, I want nothing to do with this. But if all the other customers started being like, yeah, you fucked this guy's drink up, what's your fucking problem? Like that would be very odd.
Well, because I guess it's a question of where somebody sees that they have the justification to do so.
Mm.
But like, I don't know. Is it a matter of that person just having that sort of upbringing or personality where either they were told or they had brought it upon themselves through some experience they had that like, no, I need to like stand up for somebody else, or like honestly, like a mirror situation of what you had in your own. Like, oh man, I remember, and that's what you see. And then I counter my own point by saying like, oh, well, they're going through all these crazy, intricate ruminations. So like, I don't know, man.
I mean,
like,
that's probably what it comes down to at the end of the day. We're all just fucking crazy. Like, we've all got a crazy shit going on in our heads. We should probably be less concerned about what other people say to us and just try to figure out our own shit. That feels like where this is going, right? Like, everybody's got their own problems.
Yeah, and like as like washed out as the whole kumbaya come around the drum circle thing is, I mean, that's kind of where things are at. I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel you on the, like, working a minimum wage job thing, which, like, you know, new minimum wage is $15, $16 an hour or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least for where I'm at. So, like, and does it make ends meet? I mean, $300 to $400 at the end of every month. It's something, but it doesn't feel great. Not like saving or anything. So, like, yeah. Material circumstances aren't great. I don't know about you, me personally. I mean, I have a spiritual sense of things, but not really religious. And I mean, I once again don't know about you, but I also don't know anybody who's like patently so. I
gotta get some sort of spiritual something. I need a core. I feel coreless.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
All right, well, hey, dude, it was good talking to you. I'm gonna move on just because we've been doing this for a bit here, and I want to get to a lot of callers today. But it was good talking to you, man.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I hope tried to help you figure something out here. Appreciate you taking my call, man.
Yep, have a good one.
Call from
Something.
Becca.
I have a spiritual sense of
Who?
things.
What?
Not really religious.
Hey,
Who's this?
Becca. Who's this?
Becca, this is the Minute Hour. How's it going?
It's going good, I guess. Just thinking about rage.
Nice. You raging today?
Yeah, I've been raging for the last month and a half, maybe.
Oh my God, that's too much.
I know.
What about?
I mean, I don't need to get in the nitty gritty, but
Okay.
I broke up with a long-term ex, or long-term partner.
How
right?
long term are we talking here?
Well, 4 years.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh.
long. That's long.
Yeah. And we were still living together. We still had a freaking lease.
Oh, is that done now? Is he there? Is he right there right now?
Well, so like after the breakup, they're like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm not going to talk to you. I need space. And I'm like, okay, chill. I'll just do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then that went on for like months.
What? No talking?
No talking. Just like we're not going to talk about anything. We're not addressing anything.
Oh, there was no closure discussion.
Yeah.
Those are very valuable, have to say.
I never got that. I don't know.
Me neither.
Men. I blame men. I don't know.
Hey, it's all right. I've also never had them, but I've heard great things about like getting closure in a relationship.
Yeah, but okay, that was fine, whatever. But then like January something, 3 months after breaking up, they're like, oh, actually, I'm mad at you, and I've been mad. I'm really mad, and that was when the rage happened.
For you.
For me, yeah, because I'm just like, because they're accusing me. They sent me like a Google Doc, literally, like I'm not even exaggerating.
They reached
like a 10-point list.
They reached the like limit on email or something.
Well, it was. I mean, technically, it was a text, but it was like the length of the Google Doc.
Okay. I thought you
like,
literally
it
meant
was like
they sent you a link to a Google Doc. Okay.
Yeah. And I was just like, none of this shit is true. I don't like, I mean, and I tried to be even-handed about it. Like, yeah, you know, maybe there's something I can improve upon, but like, wow, this is a lot.
Why be even-handed? Why not go for the epic takedown maneuver? Do you want to get back together? Is that what you're saying?
Fuck no. What's the epic takedown?
Like, if you're saying, like, they sent you a list and it's all bullshit, you just be like, number 1, bullshit. Number 2, fucking bullshit. And so on.
I mean, I did, but then I was gaslighting them, you know?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard. You gotta look out for that sometimes. Sometimes the truth hurts.
I don't know. Right. So am I the bad guy? But anyway, so like they're just like, I'm not going to hide this anymore. I'm going to confront you with it. And so like every time they were like, no, you're gaslighting me, you're doing this. And then I would just like get so angry. Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm just like, I'm not a person who gets angry, actually. Like I really try to control that. I never raise my voice with this person, like, because they would kind of freak out with it or whatever. But then, you know, we get in this argument and I'm just like, fuck off, like loudly. And then they're like, I just like had so much rage. And I dealt with it by listening to like metal and screaming.
Yeah. Just screaming where?
Oh, like in my car, like not like at someone.
While driving or while parked?
Both, but yeah, driving, just scream.
The car is a good spot to just let it out. It seems like a soundproof box, but I've heard some things coming from cars before. Just so you know.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Like you, and if you're like driving by somebody and their mouth is like open and they're like,
and they're not listening to music.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
So where are you at now? Are you feeling better? Has the rage subsided, or is it unresolved rage that's now it's eking out, it's dispersing into your environment like a gas leak?
Well, I mean, I moved out like a week after this. I had a friend who I had reached out to before for an unrelated situation. And this friend had like a room available. And I was like packing a bag, buying a twin bed on Amazon, just like starting over. I sleep, you know, I got my little bed.
Can I ask a few probing questions real quick?
Go for it, yeah.
Is this a heterosexual relationship? What it was?
No.
Okay. That's the end of my probing questions.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna go down a whole rabbit hole there, but now I understand it's different.
I know.
Than
I've heard you. I've definitely heard you. You know, inquire about how that all works. At least with like a dude, you were like, wait, what happens though? Like, what do you do?
Wait, what? What happens? I know what happens with a dude.
Well, I don't know. You just seem like you didn't really get it. Like you're confused.
I mean, I'm confused generally. The whole line I was gonna go down there was like heterosexual, and you're getting a room at another guy's house. Like that's how people get upset, you know. But it's not true. None of it's true. It's not your situation.
Yeah, no. I mean, this. no, I do think there was like one girl I knew who was like, why would you room with a dude? And I'm like, I've known him a long time. He's super chill. Like, this is not that kind of situation. And I'm like paying rent. Like, it's just literally, we're just literally roommates.
Exactly. I was thinking about a very different specific situation.
Okay. But yeah, I mean,
is that where you're at now? You're separated. Are you guys like talking at all at this point, or is it just cold as ice?
No, it's just done. Like, their reality is not mine anymore, right? Like, they've gone down this totally different road. No one, like, it's not even, you know, something we can meet in the middle about, right? Because they just have this completely other perception of how things happened.
Mm-hmm. Hey, been there, sister.
So you just have to, like, let it go, right? You just have to move on.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only, like, positive way to deal with it.
Yeah.
There are plenty of other horrible ways you could deal with it if you wanted.
So, I mean, I did end up kind of screaming at the moment, but they, like, disengaged, which was good, because I was, you know, like, I'm freaking out because I just, like, don't know what to do when I get really angry. And also, like, I wasn't, you know, I had, like, stepped back and was like, I don't think we can talk about this anymore because, like, I'm just not, I can't, like, keep myself together with this.
Is this as bad as it's gotten for you with being, like, angry, having uncontrollable anger?
Yeah, I tend to just, like, channel it toward myself a lot of times, and I just get, like, upset with myself, or, like, I'm frustrated with the situation, but it kind of channels into, like, frustration, which then is more like I cry super easily, which is, like, fucking stupid.
Crying feels good.
No,
are you doing
not
it?
at, like,
you're doing it in a weird
not
way.
In, like, not like your job. You don't want to, like, cry at your job.
yeah.
Then they're like, then they feel, then they like, yeah. But so I'm, like, trying to figure out how to deal with that. So I feel like I haven't figured out how, but I guess what I did in the moment, I went to the bathroom, and I didn't think my other roommate was home because his room was right by the bathroom. So, like, he could hear me, like, still kind of yelling. And I felt bad for that because he was, like, it's stressful.
What are you yelling? Are you yelling words, or is it just utterance, like verbalizations of?
Yeah, it's just like, ah.
Oh, okay. You didn't say, like, fucking motherfucker, bitch, fuck, shit, bitch, fuck, cunt, bitch, like, you know, swear words. You just went,
pretty much.
You just went,
something, yeah, that's, like, kind of how I yell. I don't know. I don't want to scream because that's, like, a lot. And
it's like a goat.
Yeah, kind of. But something that is good, right, when you're feeling really, really upset in the moment. And not something you can do, like, out in public super, but dunking your head in cold water.
You can see that.
And that is something, and, you know, and actually a way to do it in public is you bring one of those ice packs that, like, breaks.
Oh, yeah.
And you, like, put it on your forehead, and you actually, it's like this dive reflex. It's a like, they call it a mammalian response.
Yes.
Like, for mammals, when they dive, their heart rate slows. And so, like, physically, you're, like, not able to feel as angry because your physical reactions calm down.
All right. That's a good piece of advice, because that's like a biohack.
Oh, yeah, totally.
That's a lot better than counting to 10.
There's, like, a whole process, because not a whole process, but it's like you kind of, like, dip your head down, you hold your breath like you're diving, and you try to do that, and but for me, I just put really cold water on my head, like, usually. Yeah. I just, like, ran my head under the tub, right?
You gotta enter the delousing chamber and wash away all that hot anger. Yeah. It's a good idea.
But,
all right, great. Well, thank you. That's that. I haven't heard that one before, and that sounds good. I feel like, because I feel literally hot with anger when it happens. So it would sound refreshing as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's the vibe. So, all right. Well,
all right. Thanks for calling. Good talking to you.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Bye. All right. I got to take a break. I had to pee that whole time. Sorry. I don't have to say that, really. There's no requirement for me to tell you when I have to pee, but that's the truth. I had to really go, and I still do. So this might be a slightly longer break, but we'll be back in, less than 5 minutes. We'll be taking more calls. I'll see you then. Okay, I actually didn't mean to take that long a break. I forgot how long it takes to smoke a cig. I'm back on the cigs, babe. I meant to say baby, not babe. Babe's not cool. Back on the SIGs, it feels great. Oh, I forgot how long it takes, though. Okay, we're good. We're back. 518-288-7938. We're talking about rage. We're talking about anger. Times you got angry? Times someone was angry at you. Do these problems arise in childhood? Yeah, are these leading questions? I'm going to sit down. I'm sitting for this. Oh, I usually stand for the call-in show. I remember one guy one time told me it sounded like I was on my tippy toes. I still feel self-conscious about that. All right, here we go.
Call from
Aaron.
Aaron, how you doing, bro?
God, yes. I made it on again and easy, too. Fucking nuts.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I didn't think I'd make it on this
You're
easy.
on, bro. You did it.
Woo,
you called
what's up?
in.
I did it. Hooray.
So what's up?
Not much. Just got back home from driving my car around.
For fun? For work?
For fun. Fucking around.
Ooh.
Sunday.
You like driving?
No.
Oh.
Motherfuckers don't know how to drive.
Oh, it's one of these. What do? Do you ever get road rage?
No. I'll yell and bitch all I want, but I don't ever drive aggressively. I'm not trying to fuck anybody up.
I was trying to think about that too, because I get rage all the time, but I've never gotten road rage like to the point of like some people to like follow people in their cars.
Yeah, that's
scary.
that shit. Like, damn, bro, calm down.
Yeah, that's scary. A car is a death machine.
Oh, it is. I have a 68 Cougar, and this motherfucker has no airbags.
Oh man, nice.
I'm dead if I get hit.
58, 1958. Is that what you mean? Is that what you're saying?
68.
68?
Yeah, I sent you a picture with your magnet.
Oh yeah, shit. I haven't used that yet. I'm sorry. I was going to. I still haven't.
I'm raging at you right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm full of shit. I say things I'm gonna do. It takes me months to do them. Well, hey, so what do you got to say then about rage today? Are you a rageful person?
I'd say so. I kind of drink Haterade all the time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like useless bitching on like the most mundane of shit. But if we're gonna rage, let's rage against ego and narcissism, because I hate that shit.
Sure.
You know, fucking, my dad's a diagnosed narcissist.
Oh man, it's not good when they diagnose that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, bro, or whatever psychologist clinically diagnosed, whatever the fuck you call it, I don't care. But, and then I got a friend who's also narcissistic, and he's just like, bro, like, can you just eat a slice of humble pie and shut the fuck up? Like, you're not different than the rest of us.
Doesn't that kind of hurt? Like if you go to a psychologist and you're telling them about like you're just talking about yourself and they're like, okay, I've diagnosed you with extreme narcissism. You're a huge asshole. In my medical opinion.
Like, he doesn't give a fuck. He's told me about it and he laughs like it's some like thing to be proud of. He's narcissistic. It's not gonna hurt his pride or his ego.
True.
He's like, ha ha ha, she thinks I'm narcissistic. What does she know, egghead? Like, he's a narcissist. He can't see his own fucking like failing points.
Well, so what about you? Did that pass down to you, or are you?
You know, everyone has their like narcissistic tendencies, but surprisingly, no. I'm not like my dad. Thank God. Motherfucker is a kind of a pig, like a womanizer. And like, I love him, but goddamn, does he piss me off. The only time I actually rage these days is when my dad's around to fucking push my goddamn buttons. So I just want to run down. Family court happened. My mom didn't get custody. My dad did, but my mom's kind of a drug addict. But then also my dad's kind of a big piece of shit.
Okay, this is a complex. This is a deep issue.
Yeah. Life was whack growing up. And surprisingly, I didn't like become a spiteful motherfucker like I could have been. But I'm still spiteful in a sense. But motherfuckers still have their big egos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my buddy, right, he's a real cool dude. But like, he's just so full of himself. Like, he's just your average, like, 5'5" fucking nobody who thinks he's like the fucking bee's knees, bro. And it's like, dude, like, he's a really good friend, but like, shut the fuck up. He's just like, he's had no one to tell him to like fuck off. Like, this motherfucker will inject like stuff about how big his dick is and shit like that. And it's like, dude, no one asked. Two, like, or who the fuck are you? Like, calm down a little bit. And then like today, he's like, this tank top shows off my tits. And I'm like, bro, you don't even have pecs. What tits is there to show off?
Nice. All right, so he's got like an inflated self-esteem or ego or something.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What's the method there? Is it just let this guy be inflated, or do you take him down a peg every once in a while? Do you neg him?
Well, when you do say stuff, he gets all defensive about it, and so like.
My dick's pretty big. It's like 4 or 5, 6. I don't know, man. Like, why are you asking me about my dick size? I'm just saying it's big.
Yeah, no, he'll get this. Like one time we vacationed and he's like, is there anything I could do better? I'm like, oh, well, you could do this. And he's like, well, actually. And I'm like, yo, bro, don't ask for advice if you're going to fucking negate it and be a little baby bitch about it. Like, hey, fuck, man, take shit in stride.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone has a big, like, fucking inflated sense of importance nowadays. And it's like, dude, like, shut the fuck up. Learn your place. We're all worthless motherfuckers.
Where's it come from?
Get the fuck out of here.
Where's it come from with this friend in particular?
Really, I think it's just because he's my friend and I can't really, like, say anything because I feel like he'd just be an asshole about it. Like, how do you tell your friend, look, dog, you ain't shit, and you always be talking like you big game when you're like the most average motherfucker, just like the rest of us.
You do it through.
How do you say that?
You do it through a campaign of subtle negging through years. You have to slowly erode their self-esteem until they're down to the appropriate level.
I think it's that easy to neg him though, because he just fucking is always on the defensive.
Then you gotta engineer a situation to humiliate this man. You have to.
So. During his birthday, I'm going to visit them.
Oh, birthday! That's a great time to kick someone down. All right.
No, that sounds so bad. But my girlfriend's coming, and she's from China. She's very, very fucking blunt.
Ah.
And so part of me, they're hoping she just shuts him down, and I'll just be like, ha, bitch.
Nice.
Ooh. But also, that's kind of
You're outsourcing this job to China.
Hey, just like the rest of America, right?
Ooh.
I want that Chinese money, that Chinese market.
The Chinese will do it for us. They'll shut us down. That's like what. Well, hey, all right. Well, that's a good idea. So you have confidence that she's not gonna take that shit, and also she doesn't have like the relationship that you have with the guy, so it's not as important for her to like to be supportive or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
Sounds like a good idea.
I'm just like,
he's gonna hate that person. He's gonna hate your girlfriend now.
It's okay. I don't think it's gonna go like fucking wildly out of hand, but she's definitely gonna be like throwing shade if he says some bullshit. Like one time, this man, right? He started bulking on like a 3,000 plus calorie diet, and he's too much. He's getting fat, right? He's getting fat. No one's saying anything. Everyone just agrees with him. And he just like managed to get a friend group of yes mans. And like I feel really bad because I'm like, I don't know how to like bring it up. Like, yo, dude, stop.
But dude, you're part of the yes men. You have to be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah, fucking easier said than done.
I agree.
Look, man, I don't know. I'm very not confrontational, mainly because my dad screamed at me all the time for anything. So I have a hard time when it comes to like authority, confrontation, and stuff. It's funny because I joined the military. Who would have thought?
Hey, that's a great place to not confront authority.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You shut up and do your told. Easy. Fuck, I lost the train of thought.
Well, I think it's a good plan, though. It's his birthday. He's got like this new person there. Like, so she's fresh. She hasn't experienced his behavior. And so she's like an outside eye, like an impartial eye. Then at the end of it, like he can be all upset talking to you later. And he's like, man, your girlfriend was really shitting on my dick. That was not cool. And then you can be like, well, I don't know. Maybe she's right. Maybe.
Maybe don't bring up your dick size so nonchalantly. Like, that's kind of fucking weird, dude.
Just tell him to whip it out next time.
No, he would. That's the worst part.
Oh, nice. Wow, that is confident.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. But, okay, I remember the story. So this motherfucker been bulking, and, you know, it's summertime last year. We go to his hometown, we're hanging out, and he's like, yeah, since I gained, like 20 pounds of sheer muscle, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, bro, no, you haven't. Like, it took me, because I've been hitting the gym regularly for, like, the last 5 years, and it took me 5 years to put on, like, 30 pounds of sheer muscle, and it's not even, like, sheer muscle. So I'm like, calm the fuck down. You overate every day, and now you got a beer belly, and your ass is a little thicker because, of course, that's how it works. What you talking about?
If you said this to this guy, what would happen?
He'd get pissed. That'd probably, like, friendship ruining right there.
Like defensive anger, like to ward off the depression of knowing that you're right?
Maybe. I think he knows.
Or would he just be in denial?
He's not infallible. He's smart enough to know he's not infallible, but he's so, like, I feel bad saying this, but he's arrogant.
Maybe you could engineer him getting mugged or something.
No. Oh, I got the best. This motherfucker, right? We're in Europe. We fucking travel to Europe, vacation, whatever. And this motherfucker, he has no sense of danger, right? These two dudes are in fucking Greece are asking us to, like, hang out more. And they're giving me, like, the wildest red flags. And I tell him this, and he's like, no, dude, it's fine. People in Europe are just hospitable. And the two dudes are like, yo, dude, we're known for our hospitality. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, what? Tell me that doesn't sound, like, sketchy as fuck. You know? I'm like, bro, what do you mean? Like, we're about to go get our fucking kidneys stolen. And so I tell him the next day, right? This pissed me off for a real good amount because I didn't do anything, had no qualms the whole trip, had no demand. And the one time I'm like, hey, guys, it's kind of whack. They just ignored me. And then fucking the next day at breakfast, I'm like, I don't know, man. You don't really have a sense of danger. Like, when we were in Italy, so it was like a road trip kind of deal. And this motherfucker, like, goes up to this, like, obvious escort. It's like, yeah, you guys want to go to the next bar with us? And I'm like, you obviously don't know what the situations you're in when you're drinking because you're getting into some stupid shit, dude. But I said it nicer, of course. But he's like, he got defensive. He's like, look, people are just hospitable in Europe. Like, you just aren't new to the culture. But, you know, your feelings are valid, and thank you for coming for me, and that was it. I was like, what? Your feelings are valid, but you're just going to ignore it? Like, eat a dick, bro. And we kind of like, who said that kind of bullshit?
It's kind of like, you know, people try to think of, like, the simplest explanation for something. And so it's like if you are a narcissist and everyone's being really nice to you, it's just like, well, it's because I'm great.
Yeah, I'm the best.
It makes total sense.
He called himself a protagonist before.
Nice. You must be. You're like, the antagonist. He doesn't even know that you're the antagonist in his life right now because you're gonna engineer a situation.
To, like,
you will.
His downfall.
Well, that's what we're trying to decide right now.
I just
how can we
silently hate from the sidelines.
All right, what's a good thing about? Let's end on a good thing about this guy because I gotta tell you, if this guy's your friend, you got to figure out something good about him, or else nobody's gonna understand why you're friends.
Okay, he's really caring, and he does, like, he always, like, has his friends back, you know? He always has his friends back when you need them. Super caring. He's always there for if you need. Yeah. He's a chill dude. Into some chill shit.
It's like one of those...
I don't know. He's a good dude. I've known him for a while.
Yeah. He's loyal.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a dog.
Okay, the cherry on...
Like a guard dog. He would come to your aid if people started screaming near you.
Yeah. The cherry on top with the Europe thing is, though, his Airbnb got broken into and he got robbed. And it turns out he booked the Airbnbs in, like, the worst part of Greece, and I was just like, or Athens. And I was just, like, silently like, ha, 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 dumb bitch, ha, ha, ha. Learn your place.
I hope if this guy hears this, you're freaking toast, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't. I've tried to show him your things before. He thinks I'm weird for it.
Oh, well, then fuck this guy. This fucking loser. He's
yeah,
such
bro.
a piece of
Try
shit.
to show him that's a nice griller cruising on a bike. He's like, what?
Those wouldn't get him? Oh, man. He's got no hope.
I don't know, right?
All right,
He
hey,
said I
man.
sound like you when I sing Cruising on a Bike, though. I took that as a compliment.
Oh, that's good. Hey, thanks for calling in, bro. Good to hear from you again.
Thanks, you too.
All right, you have a good
Send
one.
me- Make more stickers. Bye.
Okay, no, I will. All right, bye. I have more stickers. You can buy them right now. Go ahead. Go ahead. I may have even put the link in the description of this video. Oh, by the way, while there's no one calling in, all the music from this stream has been from the upcoming Signal return. Ooh, wait a second. Unknown suspected spam caller?
Call from.
Oh, please let me on. I've been calling for like...
To accept, press 1.
Hello? Hello, hello.
No way.
Yes.
No way. No,
Yes.
it's not. It's not. It really is?
Truly. Ask any.
Bro, I've been
say
trying
anything.
to call in for fucking yonks, man. For yonks. I've tried like 10 different strains. This is the first time I got in.
What does that mean? Yonks?
A while.
Okay.
Australian.
Ah,
It's
nice.
A while.
You're a real Australian
man.
mate.
Oh, yeah. I'm a true blue Aussie, man.
Oh, hell yeah. So what time is it where you're at?
It's 4:45 a.m. for me, man.
Oh
I've been trying to call in forever.
Dear Lord.
Do you know how much this means to me? Like
No.
being able to speak to the legend himself, the
Dude,
minute hour.
and
the
what
legend.
do you want to say? What have you been waiting to say?
What I've been waiting to say,
This is
a
your
lot
moment.
of things.
We'll talk about
a
anything.
lot of
Forget
fucking
rage.
things.
We'll talk about whatever you want, because I know it is rare for the international calls to get through.
Really? That's
Mhm.
crazy.
It's
Really?
been like, I don't know, maybe 5 throughout the entire
Can
run
I,
of the show.
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What is it like working with the professional level of artists that you work with, like Drew and shit? How does that work? How does that feel for you?
It feels amazing because whenever you collaborate with someone who is like legitimately talented, and I can like even see that like they're like, you know, well beyond me even, like that's a beautiful thing, because they take something that I made like a year ago and they add all this extra shit that I never would have thought of, and it makes it so much better. So it's like it feels like a true gift, where it's like I made this thing and I forgot about it. It's done in my mind, but then someone can add all these extra layers to it, and it's a gift. I'm very lucky.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I'm glad you get to actually have that.
I know. I feel extremely lucky.
And now that I'm actually on your show, I would like to point out, I did ask you to make something a while ago.
Oh, yeah?
I did send you an email, and you said you couldn't do it because you're backed up. Do you want to...
The commissions?
maybe take
Which
it
one
on?
was it? Yeah, which one was it?
Oh, man, I can't fucking remember now.
Oh.
It's been quite a while.
That's how great an idea it was.
It must have been shit.
Well,
That's
you should
crazy,
be able-
man.
you
I
should be able
can't
to
believe I'm
remember
on
it.
with you.
All right, well, hey, anyway, you know, I'm sorry about the commission. I didn't do that. There are a lot of people who I ran out of time. What are you going to do? Someday I will do it.
Nah,
I
man.
promise you right now. I will do it someday.
Someday. Okay, I'll hold you to that one, man.
But forward me that email again, because neither of us remember what the idea was.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back into my fucking sent emails.
All right, well, what else is going on, bro?
Not much, man. It's fucking 4:48 in the morning.
Yeah,
I was
why
gonna
are
pop
you?
out for a ciggy, but I managed to actually get on with you, so
Why are you
here
up?
I am.
Why are you up?
I have a very bad sleep schedule. Work has completely fucked my sleep schedule.
You work nights or evenings or something?
I did used to work overnights, and that's completely fucked my sleep schedule. So I'm always up at like 4 a.m. in the morning.
Wait, so you're just waking up?
No, man, I've been up the whole fucking time. I've been up since like 12 a.m.
Oh boy. Oh, all right. Weird.
Also, I don't mean to swear. I kind of swear a lot. I don't
That's all
want
right. This is not a
to demonetize you or something. You know what I mean?
this is not even a monetized stream. You can't super chat. There's no ads. It's impossible to
All
screw
right,
the
cool.
stream
So I
up.
can swear then? I'm allowed to swear?
Go for it.
Fantastic.
Just go on a long string, if you wouldn't mind, just to prove to the audience that this is totally fine. Just go on the longest string of swears you can manage right now. And, you know, in
The
your
longest stream of swears?
And they can be Aussie swears, too. There can be some weird shit that we don't know what you mean.
All right, how about I quote Richard Hammond?
Okay.
Who the fuck are you, you gangly little piece of fucking shit? What the fuck are you, you little piece of shit, you cunt? That wasn't a very long tangent, but there you go.
Good. All right. Good. All right, well, dude, what else? What else is going on? I feel like I keep asking
Not
you
much,
what
man.
else.
It's weird seeing the chat reacting to stuff I'm actually saying out loud.
Dude, don't look at that.
It's fucking Drew is in the chat as well. Look at that. That's crazy, man.
Dude, Drew.
I love that guy.
He's a great man.
You
He's
see
here.
Drew?
Huh? Yeah.
He's the man. He makes some good shit. And his brother as well. Fantastic.
I completely agree. And everyone who is listening, if they don't know those people, Drew Langlois and Miles Langlois, they should be going to their channels right now.
100%. Go to Drew and Miles' channel right now. Shout out from some weird-ass Australian you don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out.
That's a cross the oceans shout out. That's a couple oceans, really. You're far away.
Yeah, man. I actually subscribe to the Mighty Lighthouse as well. So.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Dude, that shit is good. What's the deal with the ad blocker getting larger? Do you know what I mean by that?
No. The stickers,
Like the
they're the
sticker,
same.
the little ad blocker sticker?
Well, there's 3 versions of them, and they are different sizes. But they've been the same 3 for a while. Still got tons of them, and I'm selling them on the Minute Hour website. You're doing a great job advertising for like different things I want to talk about right now. Get some people to Drew's channel.
Fantastic. I'm glad I'm advertising for you. You need to get me on your show more, man.
Hey, whenever you get through, bro. When you called, Google said this is a suspected spam caller.
Yeah, I have to use Skype to call in, man, because I can't use my normal phone because I don't have international roaming.
Yeah. Well, so if you were a spam caller, what would you be spamming me about right now? What's your pitch?
I'd probably be trying to sell you some sort of really shit antivirus that you're going to pay $250 for. That's not going to help you at all besides infect your computer.
So it's just it's not an antivirus, it's just a virus.
You know what? Yeah, just a virus. I'll sell you a virus, but it'll be antivirus.
You're going to sell me a virus for $250. This is a horrible deal.
Some old fart would definitely go in on that.
Yeah, tell me how you make it like tasty, how you make it sound like an appealing deal. We know the reality is you're going to send us a virus, but what do you tell me as a 90-year-old dude to get me to download this?
It's going to 100% improve your computer's performance. You're going to get more RAM. It runs better, just generally. More RAM, you download more RAM. It's better.
I've heard about RAM.
Yeah, so what you want to do is download this because you will download more RAM.
More?
And in fact, the government won't be able to follow you anymore.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? You want to live off the grid? Download this. Government can't follow you.
Will be good for my secret searches, which I try to do in the dark hours of the morning. I wouldn't want the government to see those.
It's okay, man. So what we're going to do is we're going to set you up with a full package. You can't be traced by the government 100%.
Oh.
They're not going to see it.
Can I send pictures?
You can send pictures, but what we're going to need you to do is go get us a Apple gift card. Do you know Apple?
Oh, do you need me to go buy some?
Yeah, so what you got to do is get me about 3 $100 Apple gift cards.
Oh.
And it will also boost your Wi-Fi speed 100%. Like, you were going to be able to download shit so quickly.
Oh, no, I only have... wait. I haven't got... You know, I'm just going to give up on this halfway through. I'm sorry. I thought I could do something. I thought I was going to be... I thought I was going to have a hilarious old man character. I didn't. It was my fault. I ruined it. I'm sorry. But hey, it was great talking to you, man. You got in.
Man,
you did it.
Great talking to you too. And I'm 100% so glad about that. And I'm about to go out for a fucking ciggy.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, it was good talking to you, man. I love you.
Yeah, good talking to you. Shout out to all my Australian brothers. Probably no one watching right now. Everyone's asleep.
But later. They'll be on. They'll be on. All right. Bye.
I'll be back on your fucking stream next time. You watch it.
Okay, bye. Man. Don't you hate when you do a bit and it doesn't work?
Call from
Jack.
Whoa. Jack.
Hey, Minute, how's it going?
Good. So good. How are you, Jack?
Man, I'm doing good. I was real worried I wasn't going to make it in this time, dude.
Well, worry no more because here you are. What were you worried that you wouldn't have a chance to say?
Well, I want you to say hi to my wife, Sam. Hello.
Sam!
Hello.
Hello!
How you doing?
What?
Hi.
Hello, Sam. Good to meet you.
Well, good to meet you too. I always end up listening to you too, just like in the general vicinity of the house. So I
good.
finally talk.
When was the last time your husband got on?
Oh, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, shit. The most recent show.
Yeah, we're pretty right on schedule. He actually was a little upset that he didn't get a forewarning about today. It was the last minute he found out, and he was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like he was going to miss the whole show. So
do you have an accent? What is this accent?
I'm Turkish.
Oh, whoa. Okay, that was hard to place.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
But you must have been. I mean, you're like from. I almost said Turkland.
Yes.
Turkey?
I'm from Turkey. I've been here since 2005, so I'm American now, I suppose.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you speak English very fluently, but it's just a little taste of something. Something is a little bit off. I could tell. Something.
Just a little bit.
Nice. All right, well, cool. So, what's up with you guys?
Oh, well, you're talking about rage and everything like that, and how to engage with it. So honestly, one of the things that it made me think about, man, is whenever I watch, do you watch like documentaries about war, like World War II, Vietnam, anything like that?
It's been a while, to be honest, but I have seen those documentaries.
Okay, so one of the ways that I've dealt with like extreme anger and rage and shit like that in the past is trying to look at how I would talk about this situation so far advanced in the future that it's not even like of consequence to the people that I'm talking to it about.
It's just like, a historical event.
So, yeah, like a horse. Yeah, exactly. But I've met like Vietnam vets before, and they've told me before, like, dude, the only way I made it through that war is I full on hated the Vietnamese. Like, my hatred is what got me through that war because I wanted to get back at them for killing and torturing my buddies or just all the atrocities they saw, or some of them were just fucking psycho, you know what I mean? But when you listen on those war documentaries about how they actually talk about the enemy and they actually talk about killing, it's very much so reserved. Like they're not swearing when they're talking about it. Like when you're talking about that, piece of shit Limey, you're like, this fucking guy shoulder checks me, and it's like, well, I imagine 70-year-old Minute Hour, if he even remembers that story, is probably going to be like, yeah, I went to this boxing event and this guy, I don't remember who he was, but this guy bumps into me, and then all of these kids come out of the woodwork and just start hassling me. Right. Like all of the rage, all of the fuel is completely gone. And I try to think about like, how do I get to that old man? Like, that's the kind of old man that I want to be. Because I know that we've all met old, like, cranky old men where they're still like, yeah, that cocksucking motherfucker, you know, like, we've all met those old men in our lives. But I'd like to be the more reserved, like, yeah, like, I straight up fucking killed people in Vietnam, but, like, I've moved on in my life. Like, that kind of cool, calm. Like, think about Minute Hour looking back on this event when it doesn't even matter at all to Minute Hour anymore. And like, what was that Minute Hour actually garner from the situation? Like, dude, a bunch of fucking clowns came out of the fucking woodworks to hassle you. Like, dude, you have your live show right now, and you have your own army of clowns that want to come and talk to you and have their Turkish wife say hello to you.
That was the problem. I didn't have my army of clowns at the ready. I was caught off guard. We were caught out of position. The army of clowns was on the hillside, and I was like, oh no, I haven't assembled my guard yet.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I hear what you're saying. I mean, and even while I was doing the little intro on the show today, I was kind of having to fake it a little bit because it's been a week, and I'm more over it than I thought I would be. When I got back, I was like, I want to do a call-in show right now and just fucking talk about this for 3 straight hours about how mad I am. Yeah. But I realized as I was trying to like summon the anger today, I was like, I guess I don't actually care as much at this point. Like, now that some time has passed. But that's sort of the issue I have, is like, I am not good at getting there in the moment. In the moment, I feel incredibly emotional. I feel my emotions really hard, especially when, you know, like when I've been drinking and stuff. It's like that kind of amplifies the emotions.
Oh yeah.
So how do you do that when it's just happening? When a person just starts shouting at you, how can you possibly just be like, I'm not here, I'm not experiencing this, I'm actually 30 years in the future and this is fine?
Well, a lot of people would just say I'm a straight up pussy because I just de-escalate, just because I've had too many horror stories of like the fucking, you know, Nicolas Cage Con Air situation where some dude gets that one good punch and it just fucking kills the guy. I'm not talking about me like I'm some lethal weapon. It's just like,
that's a good example though.
Violent for the sake of like ego. I mean, right. I remember way back in the day, like I was a youth minister way back in the day when I used to believe in God and everything, but I was a youth minister and these 2 kids in the youth group wanted to fight each other. And one of the things I said to de-escalate it was like, there's no sense in fighting over something you're going to forget about in 2 weeks.
Right.
And I saw it like click in both of their minds, like, oh yeah, like, do I really honestly give a shit about what this guy thinks 2 weeks in the future? Like, no, it's kind of meaningless. So that's one element of like de-escalation in my mind, is it's like, okay, if we take this to the next level, I don't know what this person is capable of. And it's like, I don't want to get my ass kicked over just some stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's no sense fighting over something, in my opinion, that you aren't willing to like die over. And when you put it into like terms like that, there is very little shit I'm willing to actually physically fight over. And then it's like, okay, then what does come with the ridicule, like the clowns and stuff, like, oh, you're a pussy faggot. Oh, I'm using hard swear words too here, just like the Aussie, but
no.
Like,
I get what you're saying here. It's just like a big part of it is ego, you know? If that's what I felt, is like, you know, I was being challenged, my ego was challenged, and then I felt like diminished by people coming up to me to kind of tell me like, hey, your ego doesn't matter. It's this guy's ego that's important because he's got, you know, whatever. And so it's like what that, you know, legendary Michael Jackson track Beat It is about. Right? Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of Beat It, is like, hey, you could get into a big argument and fight some guy and, you know, maybe lose your life or have your life ruined. But the smart choice is to just beat it, bro. Just get out of there. 'Cause
right.
that's the consequence-free scenario.
Than that is what do you learn from it? What do you gain from it? What would be actually something that you could take from this situation? Because rage is awesome, dude. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love rage. Yeah. I just like one of the previous callers. I get so turned over like the dumbest shit just because it's fun to complain and get like upset over dumb shit. But in totality, what is something that you walked away from the situation feeling like it was something you could learn or that is useful to you in the future? What do you feel like, Minute?
I know that in that scenario, if I had engaged my rage as I really desperately wanted to, it would only have negative consequences. But I'm going to make just a quick argument in favor of rage here. Just real quick. All right? I'm saying I know that it's wrong. And if that situation turned into a physical altercation, my life would be ruined. But there is something to be said about this thing where it's like there's the imaginary forces of society that protect assholes from being murdered. And in the olden days, those forces were very different, and murder was a more acceptable thing, and it would kind of be like, hey, that guy, he slighted you, you murdered him. That's okay. We accept that. That's how society works. At this point, society is very much engaged with like eliminating murder. They say murder is a bad thing. So someone can be as dickish as possible to you and disrespectful without fear that they'll be murdered, because if they do get murdered, then, the person who murders them has to go to jail forever. So I was definitely thinking of that in the moment. It's like, you know what? All this society stuff, that's just fucking fake. What's real is murder. If I show your fucking blood, that's going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you did, that's the result. You got murdered because of what you did. And that's not right, and it would have ruined my life, and I don't care that it would have killed this guy, but it would have ruined my life, which is what I would have been concerned about. But that's the only argument that I have, and it came to me very powerfully in the moment, was like, this is all imaginary. What is real is your hot blood spewing out of your neck. Like, that's what happens. But it didn't happen. Thank God, because that would have been horrible. For me.
But that kind of ties back with what I was saying. If you were just a little fucking crazier, he would have pushed a button that he didn't fucking know he was pushing. If you were just a little fucking crazier,
If I had a little bit less to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, dude. I mean, and I feel like that also operates in like lesser degrees.
That's a good reason to not be a dick to people, though. Is like, you don't know what they have to lose, and if it's a lot less than you think, like they might just fucking murder you out of anger.
Oh yeah.
So maybe you shouldn't be a huge dick to people.
Yeah, for real, dude, for real. But I mean, I feel like this also extenuates to just normal, everyday working Joe situation. Like, I got a coworker, and he's one of those type of people where he gets off on annoying other people. I know you
provocateur.
Somebody, huh?
A provocateur.
Yes, a provocateur. But he is also one of those people where like nothing you can say can bother them, but he has confided confidentially to me key elements about his life in a confident moment where it's like, hey man,
a weakness
going on. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like this dude pushes everybody's buttons at work, including mine. And it's like, dude, the only way I know to push your buttons back is to like go for the groin, like go for a weak spot. And it's like, I'm not going to do that. Because then, first off, I'm no better than you. And then second off, it's like, what recourse do we have aside from like taking this to HR then, So it's like the assholes know just the limit to go to where they have pushed it absolutely to the line where if you are to say or do anything past what they're doing, it is crossing the line, even in the most minor offense, like, that very, even just like pointing out the soft spot could be like, oh, well, hey, that's kind of an HR offense. You can't say that about people. It's just, I feel like it's prevalent throughout all of society. And I mean, ultimately, it comes from like weakness, right? It's just the bully complex of trying to find power in any situation possible. Or I don't know, maybe am I just playing the victim card here? What do you think?
I think, there is a significant difference between like physical power versus emotional or intelligence type power. It's sort of like, I'm not really a student of history, so I'm going to start speaking out of my ass here, and feel free to just tell me I'm wrong. But it feels like the reason why autocratic takeovers occur is like you build this society that's built off like these little fucking academic bullshitters who are just like, I know how to say just the right thing, and I know how to follow the rules perfectly, and I can get you really upset, but you can't say anything back to me because it's a little. I know exactly where the line is, and then there just becomes a moment where the dumb guys like me are like, well, how about we just kill all of you? How about that? How about we just take over everything by just murdering all of you? And then like that's a level of force that you weren't prepared to contend with.
Right.
But I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not advocating for that. But it certainly is a feeling of like that vengeful feeling is very powerful. Just like if you could just imagine all like the little shitty people, like especially in school throughout your life, who are like the tattletales and like the people who are the rule followers, and they know exactly what to say that is just up against the line. Like the only thing that those people can't defend against is being beaten into a bloody pulp. Which is not but that's not a good way for society to go either.
But I feel like it's tapping into the fucking ape brain. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, if this fancy shit isn't going to work, I can still smash you. Man. That's still there. That's the monkey brain.
That works no matter what. The only reason that doesn't work is because like we have a society that is like, we try to tamp that down because it obviously goes to horrible extremes.
Oh, of course. But
yeah, we don't like fascism. We're not being pro-fascist right now. We're definitely
no, not at all. And I hope I hope this call-in show really helps you to just solidify that guy's a fucking clown, dude. Fuck that guy. Fuck all of his fucking monkey ass fucking retard jumping in on the fucking. Come on, dude. Look, you got this stream going on, man.
I know his name. Right. I'll get my revenge at a later date. That's all. That's what's all.
And you know what? Fucking do it. Absolutely do it. I'm not going to discourage you from that. Absolutely. Get this motherfucker.
All right. Hey, dude. It's great talking to you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, one last thing, please.
Yes. What?
I get a shout out from my buddy. Can you shout out my buddy, please? His name is Ed, but if you could please shout him out as Hoto Ed, that would be awesome.
What is it? What, Ed?
Hoto Ed.
Hoto Ed. Thank you for watching the Minotaur. This is good. We like you. We love you, Hoto Ed, and your friends, and they are good people, and thank you.
I love you, Minute. You have a great day, bud.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Dude. Nice. Okay. Let's just...
Call from
Legato.
Oh, shit. Legato.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, bro. How you doing?
Oh, just fine. Hey, this is the first time I tried to call in today, so I'm fucking lucky.
Nice. Hell yeah. The lines are...
At like 300.
Yeah, the lines know you. You're blessed. You have the direct line.
Well, fantastic. What's the topic today?
Rage again.
Rage.
Yeah. Are
Do you have rage ever?
Me? Yeah. Too often. What about you?
Sometimes. Never in its time, though. I'm usually raging at people who haven't done anything to me or strangers.
Oh, yeah?
But when somebody actually does something to me, I get just kind of I'm numb and I don't know how to react in the moment. But like clerks and stuff, sometimes they're like, have a nice day. And I'm like, fuck you, man.
Hmm.
Sometimes I do that when I hang up with you, too. I'm like, fuck you, man. because it's like I know I don't have to put up with that person for like at least a while,
Right.
and I can get it out of my system.
Okay, so they're not really triggering that response. That just helps you.
Yeah. I like to dole out my rage on people who don't deserve it, but they might. But it's because of what they did to me.
Not because of what they did to you.
Yeah, I think it just adds a little bit of karmatic energy to the world. Keep things moving. Or
Does
something.
that help? What does it help with, I guess? Does that help you, or does that help the world?
It helps me with my anxiety, and it helps the world know that people shouldn't fuck with me. Typically,
But
I would hope.
So you're just letting them know before they even would consider fucking with you that you're not one to be fucked with.
Yeah, like next time they'll see me, they'll be like, "Hey," or run away, or just say, "Hey," and like be like very polite. Like I got people at work. I think they think like I'm fucking gonna kill everybody or something because they're always like, "Hey, my friend," and then they run away. I'm like, yes.
Is this the environment you've cultivated at work? Are you an angry man at work?
No, not typically.
Oh.
Not typically. But like out and about in public, I might be. But I try to stay calm when I drive. It's really easy to get angry when you drive.
Mm. But you managed to stay
People,
calm?
Yeah, most of the time. You know, people do dumb stuff when they get angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this one guy, he was like, he came at me, I think he was drunk or something, but he was really, really bad. And I told him to fuck off, and he was like, "Oh, you made me fuck off. Go ahead, take the first shot. Take the first shot." He kept showing me his cheek and slapping it. And he was like really bigger than me. And I was like, that's a really dumb thing to do. It's like, get the first shot. Because like if I had a gun, I'd shoot him. And then I'll be like, he told me to do it. But no, I didn't do that. I punched him in the fucking throat.
Oh no. What happened?
Yeah. He went, "Ooh, ah," and then he fell to the ground, and I kept like punching him in the face until like that guy told me to stop.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, don't expose your cheek because you actually expose your neck.
That wasn't what he was thinking about.
Yeah, that's a rage thing. That's something you don't think about when you're enraged. Like, you can tell somebody hit your cheek, but no, you might get throat punched. That's a completely different situation.
That's a good strategy, though. Throat punch. That's immobilizing.
Yeah, like I kind of figured it out that day. I was like, man, I'm always going to be watching out for an open throat if I'm ever in a fight. Because that is debilitating. That guy with you, she could have beat me up. Like, I'm not even a good fighter.
It's just some drunk man just looking for a fight.
Yeah.
How common is that? Like, drunk people want to get in fights.
Yeah. I called him a slur, though. I called him a faggot.
Is that what prompted it, or was that after he was threatened?
I actually think that's what prompted it. No, I'm thinking about it. I call him a faggot. This is something I do to help with my rage, too. I call people faggots right to their face.
Well, that was nice of him to be like, hey, this guy called me a faggot. Why don't you just punch me right now, as hard as you can, wherever you want?
Yeah, like that's a bad
ideal
strategy. Yeah, but I call people really bad names straight to their face sometimes just to see the reaction. Like you won't believe how much like just calling somebody a faggot like after you ask them a question, how much it'll fuck them up in their conversation.
They ask you a question, and then you call them a faggot?
Yeah, like, they'll be like, hey, do you know where this is? And I'm like, it's over there and on top of that thing, you faggot. It's really not a good thing to get into a habit of doing.
Yeah, it seems like you started it.
Yeah, well, I kind of do.
But it's a really bad maneuver if someone starts it with you to be like, hey, why don't you just fucking punch me then? Like, they should have gone for your throat.
And this is what's messed up about it. I would never call a gay person that.
Of course.
because that would actually be.
It's only about
for-
upsetting homophobic straight people. That's the only use of faggot that works, is upsetting straight people.
And if it's a chick, I call them Jezebels.
Okay, does that work?
Like that catches people off guard too. Like women, they get angry easy. It's very easy to upset a lady, make her tilted. But like my favorite one is just to be like skank.
Yeah. They don't like that.
And then they're like, yeah, they don't like that. Dude, I think if you just say something hard enough to a chick, she won't like it. Like you can be like, you fucking Protestant.
I think you're right. I think they just sort of read the intent and they're like they could be upset enough by that.
Yeah, and they'll react quick. You know, it's weird. I see women get in such rages and they hit people and they fight all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought it was supposed to be men who had the testosterone and get angry quick. Like if we hit somebody, like people call the cops on us.
Right. Well, it's a more like time-sensitive situation. Like a woman can beat on someone for like a half an hour before there's going to be any damage. If a drunk man punches you, or if you punch a drunk man in the throat, he's like probably instantly needing some medical attention if you continue to beat him while he's down, as you said you did.
Yeah, but nobody would care if it's a drunk dude. They'd be like, that drunk dude shouldn't have got so mad if they didn't know I had called him a faggot.
True.
But they would be all like, the drunk guy shouldn't have got so mad. But if like a chick like gets rocked like that, they're like,
But
oh
by
my
it, dude,
God.
I think women can beat each other up for a long time before anyone will care. Like I think
that's
when it's a
because-
guy against a girl, then people gotta jump in. But if it's two drunk ladies, like pulling each other's hair, I think basically the reaction is people just kind of laugh and be like, oh, like take pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's only because they have titties and they might bounce out or something. And because they don't know how to fight and they're just doing like what rage nerve, like ape reaction, like kind of like they're more like having a seizure than fighting sometimes.
That's more what I mean. It's like you can let them go at it and they'll just tucker themselves out before anybody really needs any medical attention.
Yeah, but in the real world situations, women can hurt men too. And I wish I could check them quicker. Like, I was in an abusive relationship. I got stabbed by my ex-wife.
Dear God.
I told you about it, didn't I?
Did you call her a faggot?
No, I didn't
Or
even
a
call her a bad name
Protestant?
that day. No, I didn't even call her a bad name that day. I should have. See, I don't react in its time to people who deserve it.
What happened there? What happened when you got stabbed?
Oh, she stabbed a fork in my arm and it didn't wiggle at all and it didn't hurt either until I pulled it out.
Oof.
And yeah, that's a really bitch move to do. And I didn't hear her back or nothing, but I'm not a better man because I wanna.
Right.
Let me at him. Put me in the situation again. I ain't never hit a woman, but I wanna.
Well, you passed the test. Hey, that's the ultimate test. A woman stabs you with a fork and you didn't hit her. Good job. You're going to heaven.
That's not a good job.
You're going straight to heaven, bro.
If that's what you think, but if anybody's in that situation, punch a chick in the face as hard as you can and say it was self-defense because they deserve it. Yeah. That's not cool stabbing people, man.
I mean, hey, what are you going to do? I have to agree with part of that statement, but I cannot legally agree with all of it. Hey, Legato, it's good talking to you. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, fuck you, man.
Yeah. All right. We're going to take another break here. We're going to play that song that I started playing last time because I was taking too long, and maybe this time I'll also take too long. 3, 4. All right. Be back in less than 5 minutes here. And then we'll do more call-ins in a bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good, right? That's good, right? That's good, right? Nice. That's nice.
Okay. Oh shit. Excuse me. Okay, shit. Before we get into the calls again, let's talk about Chunk for a second here. Hey. Whoa. All right. Hey, this stream is sponsored by Chunk. If you don't know, Chunk is a printing and publishing company that I started with MoxieFamous. He's the guy who's been printing the zine for all these years, or for many, many years. Chunk, if you go to chunkmonthly.gumroad.com, you can sign up for a monthly subscription. You get physical media mailed to you in the mail, where the mail comes, every month. All right, if you sign up this month, what you'll be getting is what you see on the screen right here, Octopus Island, which is a brand new comic from Front Porch. If you don't know Front Porch, you must check this dude out. All right, Front Porch, incredibly talented artist, animator fellow. Search on YouTube, Front Porch, FRUNTPORCH. Check out his channel. He's got a bunch of short animations there, incredibly excellent. And he made this beautiful new comic for Chunk. You can see some panels here floating through. It's a 32-page full-color comic. It's extremely good, extremely funny. I've been reading it over and over. I really love this one. This is something you're going to want to get, all right? It's not going to be like, it's not unavailable if you don't buy it. I'm pretty sure that Front Porch is planning to release it digitally after this is all said and done with the Chunk stuff, but this is something you are going to want physically to hold in your hands because it is excellent, and I can't talk it up enough. It's a great comic. So if you go to chunkmonthly.gumroad.com, you can sign up for the monthly option. If you sign up this month, you will get Octopus Island in the mail next month, but you can also order it individually, especially if you are a international person. You can't sign up for the monthly thing, but you can order it individually. If you go to chunkmonthly.gumroad.com, you'll see there's the monthly option, and then there's also the buy separately option. That's for everyone who's international. Very much highly recommend you get this comic, all right? It's very, very, very good. You will enjoy it. It is not printed yet, so I can't show you the printed copies. But when that happens, I will be letting you know. I'll be posting pics and all that shit. These are just scans, that we have here, the digital version. But soon it will be a thing in physical reality. Yeah, Chunk. chunkmonthly.gumroad.com. 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 New physical media every month. We do comics, zines, CDs, and more. All right? You'll find out. If you sign up now, you'll be getting new shit in the mail every month. It's an exciting thing. It's all unique, independent artists, the sort of people that I work with as the Minute Hour. So I personally vouch for all these things that we're making. They are worth it. They are worth owning. And it's physical media, which is cool. Because then, when the atmospheric detonation of a nuclear bomb happens at some time in the future here, and all your internet goes down and all your media is just it doesn't exist anymore, you're going to want the physical media, right? That's going to be the most important thing when society is collapsing because of the atmospheric detonation of a nuclear bomb. What you're going to want most is this 32-page full-color comic to, take up the time between raids and hiding. I mean, that's basically all we're going to be doing, right? When society collapses, you're either going to be hiding or raiding. But when you're hiding, you're going to want something to read, and that's going to be Octopus Island by Front Porch. All right, we're just going to do that's just a quick little thing we're going to do for Chunk today because I forgot to set up an interview, but I will do that soon. Anyway, that's that. chunkmonthly.gumroad.com. Definitely check that out. Very important thing to me. And, you know, I think you'll enjoy it. That's the main important thing. We're getting another suspected spam caller. Is it the same guy?
Call from.
My name is Rajesh.
Rajesh?
It's not Rajesh, it's me, man.
Oh, well, is this the guy who called in like an hour ago?
Yeah, man.
Well, hey, dude, what's up? Why are you calling back again?
I want to shout out all my major sponsors. Chunk Publishing.
Oh, shit.
100% Chunk Publishing.
Nice. You love that,
shit
right?
Got me set up for days.
Hell yeah. What's your favorite part of Chunk? If you had to pick one, maybe it's just an emotion, not a specific title.
It's anger, rage. I really want to engage my rage. You know what I'm talking about?
Chunk helps you get to that anger place, that rage.
Oh man, it helps me deal with it as well.
Really?
Oh yeah, man.
In what way?
It's just the way you guys set out your artwork and everything. It really gets me through the day.
So it calms you. It brings you to the rage stage, but it also calms you.
Absolutely.
Hey, I mean, that sounds like a great bargain, really. Like, you're taking it through all the different levels of emotions there. Like, that's an experience.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, hey, thanks for calling in. And this is a totally not scheduled call-in, and you're not, I mean, you said sponsored, but I didn't pay you, so it's kind of a...
Nah, man, you didn't pay me. I pay everything. I pay for Chunk.
And you're paying to call whatever, how much this cost calls from Australia.
Oh, man. Oh, I waste all my money on Skype.
Oh, man. Well, hey, thanks for calling in. Good to hear from you again on the same show.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I held anyone up who actually wanted to get in, but fuck all you guys. I got in. Ha ha ha.
All right, you have a great morning.
I'll try to, man. You too.
All right, bye. That happens every once in a blue moon. We get a double call. That's proof, though. I mean, that guy can get in twice, and he's from Australia. So what's your excuse?
Call from.
Danielle.
Danielle, how's it going?
Hey, going all right. How about you?
Good. I just got back from another smoke break. I'm getting back into the cigs because I'm getting fat again, and it's like, I got to be addicted to something, either cigs or cookies, and so might as well be cigs right now.
You know what I'm addicted to? I'm addicted to fat stacks of cash.
Fast what?
Fat stacks of cash.
Oh shit! And how do you access those? Where do you find them?
I don't. That's why I'm always chasing them. You know what I mean? I work in I do like freelance media production.
Like what? In what sector?
So I just say freelance media production because I do I'm a generalist, so I do basically everything. Like right now, the projects I have going right now are 2 video games, a short film, a bunch of YouTube videos, a podcast,
what?
Jack of all trades. I mostly do 3D, design, animation, etc., and post-production stuff, but I also do principal photography and audio engineering and music and stuff like that too.
Okay. So for those projects that you were mentioning, you're kind of delivering the visuals, or are you putting those things together?
Okay, so for the video games, both of those, I'm the primary 3D artist, which by primary I mean only, because apparently they think you only need one, and they just give me 9,000 things to do.
Yeah.
By the way, if anyone named Johnny is listening to this, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the other one. You know who.
Good cover, good cover.
I make all the 3D assets for those video games. The movie that I'm working on right now, that one I'm doing the soundtrack for. I already did the editing, VFX, and color grading, and now I'm just going to the soundtrack because I was basically the one-stop shop for post-production. I have another music video that I shot myself that I've been leaving on my back burner for 9 million years that I need to get back to. But I was going to edit it in person with the person who I'm working with. So that's not that. We've both been super busy, so we haven't gotten around to it. And the podcast is really boring. I technically I can't talk too much in detail about it, but it's super corporate stuff by a medical supply company called Boston Scientific. So it's really boring.
Sorry, go on.
No. I was gonna trail off. What were you gonna say?
Oh, nice. So do you do your own creative stuff as well, or is this primarily a job?
I used to do my own creative stuff a lot more, but I've been kind of broke recently, so I've been mostly focusing on just like doing as many jobs as possible. And it's been a while since I've really gotten to sit down and focus on my own work for a while.
How do you feel about doing creative work for other people?
I feel fine about it. I knew when I was getting into this career that this would kind of be what I was doing. Like, I knew that I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to be some famous YouTuber or some big name director like Steven Spielberg or some shit who could just make money just by making movies. So I'm going to be making other people's movies. And I knew that I would be making movies that I don't really care about too. So it's like, it's part of the deal, and I understood that, and this is just part of the process to get myself to the point where I can start making my own stuff a little more.
That is the ultimate goal?
Yes. There's a TV show I actually want to make. Like, that's my ultimate goal, this TV show I want to make. That's, well, long story short, basically a human colony where they live together with the native species of the planet that they're on, and some of them start to gain superpowers, and the show is basically about the both political and scientific fallout of people randomly being able to punch buses into oblivion.
All right,
and I want it to be set in... Pardon?
I said, all right, nice.
Yeah, I want it to be set in space because I don't want to accidentally like make it so that people are looking at allegories for, you know, real countries and stuff like that and then missing the point. Because they could be like, oh, the bad country, that's just like the United States or Russia or something, and then they won't read any deeper into that. So I figured set it in space, and then they don't have the ability to do that, and maybe they'll actually listen to the fucking point.
It almost sounds a little bit like X-Men. Like, isn't that kind of the conceit of X-Men, is that like people are becoming superheroes, but like they aren't really superheroes, they just have like mutations, and there's like this whole sub race. It's like, how do we deal with the mutants?
Yeah, I guess it is kind of like X-Men in that, like, I'm not going to disagree with that. My friends have called it X-Men in space before. There's also a couple other comparisons that I get. But I kind of feel like the fact that a lot of the comparisons are all over the place kind of proves that, I don't know, I'm hoping that proves it isn't derivative, because otherwise they would just be hammering it on the one thing, you know?
Yeah, sure. Well, so are you, like, is writing an important thing to you? Like the actual...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have all the screenplays already written out.
For, like, TV episodes?
Like that. Pardon?
For, like, episodes of this show?
Yeah, 5 seasons. Well, technically 4.5, but 5 seasons written out.
What?
Yeah, I'm fucking serious. I'm not just some fucking random person who's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna edit YouTube videos for some people, and now I think I can make a TV show. Like, I'm actually in the industry. I know how it works. I gotta be able to bring the fucking heat, or people aren't gonna pay attention to me. You know what I mean?
You wrote a whole show.
I can't come over with... pretty much. I can't just come in with like the pilot and be like, look, now give me money.
That's more of a show than most shows even ever become.
Yeah, which is kind of why it's kind of, I really want to wait for the right moment, because when I have a little bit more leverage, because at that point I can like, really be like, hey, I want to make the whole show. I got 5 seasons and all 5 are going to get made, whether it's but with your support or not. You know, I want to get to that point before I start pitching it.
Where are you at in this point of writing it? Is it like, does it conclude after 5 seasons, or are you just continually like, it can keep going indefinitely?
I have those 5 seasons that are like what I really want, the story that I really want to tell, and there is a conclusion at the end of season 5, but I leave it open for the networks to be able to zombie the show around and make a mockery of my life's work, because I know they like doing that.
This is like,
and I'm just hoping that if they decide to do that,
if everything went according to plan, then the networks would make a mockery of your show, because that would mean you were mega successful.
Pretty much, exactly. I'm just hoping that because I have that open and because I have plans for what I would do after that, maybe I could continue to be showrunner and I could make something that does service to it instead of what happened to Supernatural, where now nobody talks about the first 5 seasons of Supernatural. We only talk about how bad the show got.
How many seasons did Supernatural end up having?
15.
Yeah, wow, nice.
Which means that there were literally 3 times more bad seasons than good seasons.
But think about all that money, all that delicious money.
No, right?
Because it's the later seasons. That's when you start making the more money anyway. Like, it's like the last few seasons of a show is when everyone who's making the show is making bank.
Yeah. But
so what's important to you then? Like, is it important that you have the exactly what you want, like, be produced with your name on it, or is it a matter of like, hey, if I got a big show, then it's kind of like that gives me license to do other shit later on?
No. This is this thing that I'm like leading up to. I want to do all the other shit to get to this one, so I can make it basically word for word exactly what I wrote in the script. Like this, it's really important for me to have this one be done right. Honestly, I don't really give a shit about anything over like $75,000 a year. After that, I've just planned on, I don't know, giving it to my dad.
Well, I have a feeling that being a showrunner for a TV show is more than that.
No, it's not. Well, it depends on if it's an animated show or not. Vince Gilligan makes fucking mad-ass bank, but like Owen Dennis from Infinity Train makes like, what, $30.25 a decade?
So animated is nothing. It's pennies.
Yeah, pretty much. Since I already know how to do CG, that's kind of how I always imagined it. So it's like that. But I feel like I'm getting really sidetracked. Unless you want to hear more about my weird pet project.
I was curious, but we can go on whatever.
Well, I mean, obviously I can talk about my weird pet project all day, which is why I'm saying that, like, if we want to get to another topic, either you might want to do that, because I could do this all day.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Next topic. What else?
Okay.
Rage?
Rage. Of course, rage. I have had some just absolutely mind-boggling rage moments, right? And a lot of them come down to my mother, right?
Nice.
So she's a Wile E. Coyote. She's like Wile E. Coyote shit. She's like over the top cartoon villain, right? And but in 2020, during the height of the pandemic, she decided, this is kind of where things started really going into supervillain territory with her. She was evil before, but this is when things got really out of hand. She decided to go to Portland on a 2-week business trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then during this business trip, we found out that she had been first off, we found out that she had used my dad's money without telling him, and he's immunocompromised, so that's kind of a big deal to do during a pandemic. Secondly, we found out that she was growing drugs in my, at the time, like 10-year-old sister's bedroom.
Oh, God.
Right? So I call her up. I'm like, you got to deal with this shit right now. And as I'm calling her, I look over around the deck, and I'm like, these are some very distinctive leaves. Are you growing weed under the deck? And she's like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, this is a fucking weed plant. I literally, while on call with her, found more of her drugs, right? And I was like, you have to get back here right now and deal with this shit. And then she started giving me suggestions on how I was supposed to deal with it for her. She was like, it's not that big of a deal, because like nobody would even care if they saw these drugs. And even if somebody did call the police would just like not even give a shit. And I'm like, maybe for you, because you're white, but the rest of us aren't. So, you know. maybe we actually do want to deal with this shit because we live very close to where a very famous police killing happened. So, you know, we're a little on edge, right? So we, so she keeps giving me suggestions on what I should do. She's like, why don't you throw it in the lake? And I'm like, the lake is a public park. It's in Minnesota. And then she's like, well, why don't you throw it in the forest? The forest is also a public park. Why don't you put it in the neighbor's yard? I'm sure they'll thank you for it. And I'm like, are you serious? And one of her suggestions was literally burning it. Burning marijuana.
Yeah.
I'm like, hell no, we're not doing this shit. This is not how we're operating. And she just finally said, did you have a question?
No, I want to hear. What did she finally say?
She finally said, well, I could just say that they're not mine. I was like, I want you to be very specific right now. Are you threatening me? And she said, well, let's just say that I'm a white Midwestern housewife from Minnesota, and you're not. And I was like, so you're saying you want to frame me for these? And she said, just get it done. Right?
Wow.
From then on out, we were mortal enemies. And she was doing like some new psycho shit every day. And it was at the point at which like the kids weren't safe because of her existence. You know what I mean? Things like she wanted to try to kidnap the kids and take them into community housing in Portland. And it's like, they live in a fucking nice ass house and you would take them into community housing in Portland because you don't like my dad? You know what I mean? And it's like and she would do just, even when she was there, she would do terrible things to them. And, you know, we started hearing stories from these kids and we started being like, this chick is a psycho. She's like, it's like not safe for these kids to be around her. You know what I mean? And they're like completely agreeing. The kids are like, we don't want her back here. We don't feel safe when she's around. You know what I mean?
So this is, hold on. This is getting complicated. I'm confused.
Yeah, it's a very complicated story. I'm sorry.
This is like your stepmom.
No, this is my mom.
This is your real mom.
Yeah, I'm half black, so she's the white one,
and
which is probably why you thought she was the stepmom.
Well, it was that, and also just, you know, it's not typical mom behavior to be like, I'm gonna frame the whole family for something that I did. That's atypical.
Oh no, she's fucking crazy.
What is her business? What was she in Portland doing business?
I'm not going to tell you that because honestly, the business that she was working with doesn't deserve to be put on blast because they were actually doing good work.
Okay.
And I don't want to drag their name through the mud.
Okay, sure. Well, that does sound rage-inducing. So does it come to a head? I mean, like you sort of talking about like getting angry on the phone or something, but she must have came back, and what? How does one deal with that situation where someone is being that kind of selfish?
All right. There's, like I said, there was, for each and every day of the next year and a half, there was a story just as rich as the entirety of the Lord of the Rings series, not just the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm talking The Hobbit and the Silmarillion too, for each fucking day of her antics, right? So it's hard to distill it down into something that I can describe during a call. But
so she's a writer too.
Yeah, she's writing the world's best dark comedy.
But you know,
she just doesn't realize she's doing it.
No.
Yeah, once she dies of like a heroin overdose under an overpass or something, I'm totally releasing this as a dark comedy.
There's more going on here that I could possibly comprehend.
Yes, so we're gonna skip to when she came back to Minnesota. So she filed a false order for protection against my dad, right? And this order for protection listed, one, it said that there was a certain event that happened in which my dad threatened her life, but the problem is she also said it happened on my birthday, which is a day where I knew where both of them were the entire day. So, like, easily dismissible, easily shot down, because, like, she gave a date, and the date is a day I knew where he was. You know what I mean? And then
so
she
she's
also
just
filed,
crazy? Is she just, like, an insane lady? Is that what this comes down
pretty
to?
much, yeah. She
Like,
also
was she crazy
said that
like
her
when you
address
were?
was,
Was she crazy when you were young, also? And it's, or like, how has this
She came in-
developed?
She came and went in waves. So she would like be a normal, good mom for a while, and then she would just go completely off the deep end for a while and start acting really psycho. But then when she started acting normal again, she would pretend not to remember the psycho shit that she did. She would like make excuses and stuff. So it's like, you know, you can't really, and it makes it hard to trust her when she refuses to admit how bad she actually got.
Would she say that like she actually did like go psycho and can't remember it in that sense, where it's like a break, or is it just like how would she explain it?
How she would explain it by like, I felt myself shatter into a million pieces, and I was just trying to put all these pieces together, and I'm sorry if I hurt you while I was putting those pieces back. And I'm like, dude,
that is
I'm
horrible.
like a 9-year-old kid that you're throwing measuring cups at in the kitchen because you got pissed that I asked you where one of them went. Like, I'm not going to hear this and be like, oh, yeah, I understand. Me as my 9-year-old self. That makes total sense.
Hey, that is some classic crazy lady language, just being like...
It is.
Like,
she's so
going into
classic.
a big dramatic thing about like, oh my God, my life was exploded apart and I was gathering all the pieces. Like, that is... I've heard that a few times.
If you've ever been to Portland, that's how everyone talks.
Yeah. It's true.
So, like... she filed that order for protection, and she hadn't been in the house for 6 months at this point, but she still listed her address as our address. So the cops came in and arrested my dad for breaching the order for protection by being in his own house, a house that her name isn't on the lease anymore because she declined to sign the new lease. Right? So she has no claim to live there. She hasn't been there for 6 months, and she's not on the lease. The landlord sure as fuck doesn't like her because obviously we told him that she was growing the drugs because we didn't want her to like fuck up the housing situation for us. So we just were honest with him, you know? But so she has no claim to be here at all. So my dad gets arrested. We all call her, like literally everyone at the same time is calling her like, that was the stupidest fucking thing you've ever done in your entire life. You are not coming back here. You know what I mean? We were just like, that's the last straw. You're not coming back here. You come back here, you're going to be homeless. She's been complaining like, oh, your dad made me homeless, even though she's living with her friend who has like a big ass fucking 3-story house, right? So we were like, you're going to know what real homelessness is like in the coldest city in the United States in the middle of winter. If you come back here, stay in Portland, right? She comes back anyways. Well, a few days later, some cops show up, right? And they have these, they're like, okay, so we're just going to check the house. They look around, they check the house for my dad, and little do we know, one of the places they looked is one of the places she had drugs that we didn't know about. She had hidden them so well that apparently she neglected to bring them up when we were trying to get them all out of the house, because she had like 3 drug stashes that we found out about later. And one of those is the place that the cops searched. Thank God they didn't find anything because they were looking for a 300-pound black man, not a bag of drugs, you know?
Oh.
So obviously they weren't checking behind shelves. But they leave and they're like, okay, well, have fun with your mom. And we're like, what do you mean? And they were like, she's right here. And we look over and she has a police escort with like these armed fucking guards walking her over to the building. And we're like, absolutely fucking not. This isn't happening. And they were like, well, I know that it's really popular right now to do this, like all cops are bad. And I wanted to deck the shit out of that guy because, you know, like what a fucking stupid sentence to say when somebody's like, don't let this person in my house. You know what I mean? But I restrained myself and I was just like, oh no, you guys are good with me. I don't want her around here. And they were like, oh, okay, so tell us about that. And we tell them the situation, right? And the entire time we're telling the situation, my mom is literally screaming at the top of her lungs, like pounding on the window, flipping us off. She like flipped off the 10-year-old, and the 10-year-old was standing there with a broom at the top of the stairs yelling, let her in, I want to hit her.
Dear God.
And we were like, Olivia, oh, I didn't say a name. Forget I said anything. No. Let's call her Vanessa. Vanessa, please go back to your room. We have this handled. Just go back to your room. We'll get you, I don't know, pizza or something later. Right? And then, you know, she goes back to her room. The cops are like, the fact that she's acting like that is why we're not letting her in there. Eventually, we all agree that she has no right to be in the house. And So I give her the key to the house, right? No, sorry, not the key to the house. That would be stupid. I give her the key to the garage, and I'm like, it has heating in there, you know, everything. We can bring a futon out in there, and you can stay there until we figure out where to put you, because I'm not just going to let you freeze to death out there, right? She grabs the key.
Well, hey, that's a change of heart.
What?
That's a change of heart.
Yeah.
You said 5 minutes ago you're going to experience homelessness in Portland.
No, obviously I was just trying to keep her from showing up. I'm not actually going to let her freeze to death, you know what I mean?
I see.
But so she takes the key, she runs into the garage as fast as she can, and she starts like trying to break into the house through the garage door. So I'm kind, I would like to think, for doing something like that, but I'm not fucking stupid. I locked and barricaded that door with a dresser, and there was a bunch of bikes in front of the door before she could even get to the door in the first place. I'm not fucking dumb. I know that she's going to try some psycho shit, and I know that I need to make sure that she can't break down that door if she does. You know what I mean? So then, the problem was,
to be honest, I don't know what you mean. This is so outside of my purview. I'm not prepared. I would not be prepared for a situation like this.
Yeah, well, I lived with her for like 21 years up to this point. So.
Are you still in that house? Are you still living there where this was happening?
Oh, no. I moved out a while ago, and you know, the story does wrap up with a nice, neat little bow.
Okay,
We're
great.
going to get to that. I promise I'm getting there.
Give it to us. I'm ready.
So, all right, you're ready. So the problem was she was doing this while the cops were walking back to their squad car. So they hear this huge ruckus coming from the garage, and they come back, and they just say to her, they just put their hand on their hip and say, "You're about 2 seconds from going to the hospital, ma'am."
The mental hospital, they mean.
That's what my dad said. My dad was like, "I think they meant the mental hospital. I don't think they meant they were going to shoot her."
Yeah.
And then she was like, okay, fine. And she walked out. Oh my God, this story leads into another big story that's really fucking complicated and stupid. Basically, long story short, she got COVID, didn't tell anyone, and then I had to contract trace for her, and I had to quarantine because I was around her. But one, that was literally the reason that we were telling her not to make the trip, right? Because my dad's immunocompromised, and you were like, you can't bring this back here because there's like 3 people you could kill. So, you know, point made. 2, when I contacted trace for her, she got mad at me, and I was like, bro, you weren't going to do it, and it's a matter of public health right now. This was during the pandemic before the vaccine. So, yeah, anyways.
Good.
That happened. Then the court proceedings started, which were basically, does she have a right to live there? Does she get the kids and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, she was a complete and total fucking psycho, so much so that her lawyer dropped out partway through. Her lawyer literally was like, fuck this shit. She can represent herself. I don't care. I'm gone.
I mean, hey.
And the worst part is, this was a public representative.
Oh, wow. Are they even allowed to drop the case?
In this specific scenario, they are.
It's funny, just the guy would be willing to break the law to get out of that. Well, she sounds like a real classic crazy lady. I mean, there's so many crazy elements to that story. I don't even know where to begin, but I can feel your rage. It's palpable.
So she says all sorts of psycho shit during the thing, but the best one was right at the end. She was cross-examining me, and she was like, well, the cross-examination had like 90 great punchlines, but I'll just skip to the end, where she says, name one time that my drug use got in the way of my ability to parent. And the judge just looked up and said, okay, stop. I'm ready to make a decision.
There you go. She solved the case.
She solved the case, yeah. So she lost full custody. She's not allowed within 3 blocks of the house. She's not even allowed to see the kids unless they reach out to her first.
Good God.
Which leads into my rage, right? So during this, I had given her angry phone calls. I had given her phone calls where I was like, you're a fucking idiot. What the fuck are you doing? You know, because I felt like, I didn't just feel like I was fighting for my own life because, you know, she had me at gunpoint threatening to frame me. I felt like I was fighting for these kids too. You know what I mean? So I would get so mad, and I would fly completely off the handle. I would be sitting on the deck on the phone just like, you're a fucking idiot. Why the fuck are you doing this? And like trying to explain to her in very loud terms why what she was doing was wrong and stupid. And then eventually when she came back, she started parking her car outside of the house and trying to lure the kids over with gifts, right? That's a normal thing for a person to do, is just sit in their car and be like, hey kids.
Yeah. Got some presents, got some candy.
She did all sorts of shit like that. She also attacked the school bus once. But, you know, that's a whole other story.
Hey,
so
Danielle, I feel like we could go on about this for hours and hours, but it's been almost 30 minutes, so I gotta get to the next caller. Yeah, really.
Okay, so let me wrap this up with a bow really quick.
All right.
What I wanted to get at was like the fact that this lady deserved all of my rage. You know what I mean? She completely did.
Deserved it. Yeah.
But one day I got a little too out of hand, and I scared the shit out of my little sister because of how I was yelling, right? And I just made a promise to her at that moment. It's like, I'm never going to yell at anyone, no matter how much they deserve it, ever again. And not just when you're around, just period, because it's a bad habit to have. And one of the things that struck me was the realization that just because somebody deserves for something to happen to them doesn't mean that I deserve to be the one that does it to them. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like how I was able to calm myself down, because it's like, at the end of the day, I need to focus on me. Am I making myself or these kids safer by yelling at the top of my lungs? You know, how does that actually help? It makes me feel better for a minute, but then it scares the shit out of everyone, and it makes me feel terrible for the rest of the week, you know? And that's was kind of the realization that made me stop and think, like, they deserve this, but I don't deserve to be the one to do it. So at the end of the day, I should just let karma come, you know? The judge is going to do what the judge is going to do, and the judge is going to make that decision. And I just got to let her ruin her own life instead of sitting here, you know, getting ass mad about it and yelling at people. I should just go, you know what, that's the way things are. What can I do to fix the situation that I'm in right now? And what can I do to make sure that these situations don't happen again? And that's what it's about, is really taking that pragmatic approach, in my opinion.
There is that feeling in the moment of when you're feeling the red hot rage where it's like, I'm going to usurp the power of the person who is putting me in this rageful position by overpowering them, by being, you know, a crazy person myself. Like, maybe then they'll understand, like, this is the result, like, my insane yelling at you, like, you might understand for a second, this is how you're making me feel. But you're right in the sense that, like, you're kind of lowering yourself to that position instead of, it feels in the moment like you're raising yourself up and be like, I'm going to take control of this, but you realize later you kind of lowered yourself to that position.
Exactly.
Well, hey, Danielle, it was great talking to you.
I just think to myself,
oh, sorry.
Great talking to you too.
Yeah. I mean, we've just
sorry
passed
for my
30
rambling.
It's all right. It's good talking to you. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay. That was a lot. That was a lot more than I was prepared for. God, it's this Australian guy again.
Call from.
Hello, it's the third.
Bro, stop.
Oh, I'm back. Third time.
You're clogging the lines, bro.
What's going on with the last, man, what was going on with that last call?
I don't know. What do you want? What do you have to say about it?
What do I have to say? They fucking went off on a whole fucking tangent about nothing. They said nothing.
But this is your third call on the same show. So what do you have to say that's so much more valuable?
Not much. Besides, they were wasting all of our people's time.
All right.
I'm sure everyone in the fucking chat has something to think about that one as well.
Bro, appreciate you for the first time, but stop calling in. Call in next time, all right? We've had enough. We do one call per show. Goodbye. Okay? Stop calling in. You get in once. You're going to call in to complain about someone doing a long call on your third call of the show? Who's the idiot here? Who deserves the mean words? It's you. Stop calling in.
Call from.
Curtis.
Was it Curtis?
Yeah, Curtis.
How's it going?
Oh, wow, I got in. Amazing.
Hey,
this is great.
Yeah, you're in. You got
that
in
is
past,
awesome.
even though there's the one guy who keeps getting through, clogging up the lines, you managed to beat him out. And you're another foreigner.
That's right. I'm actually from Australia, so, I was going to call up and say, props to my Australian brother, but, now I'm gonna be like, I'm the rage that he's called up 3 times, that's my rage. He took my place.
The first 2 times it was cool, but the 3rd time, we've had enough. We've got another Australian now. All right.
Yeah. So they're all coming in from the woodwork, aren't they? I mean.
So how's the rage?
I don't know how many Australians.
How's the rage on your island continent?
Oh, look, it's pretty fucked up, to be honest. Let's being real. I don't know what the international thing is like at the moment, but Australia, with the whole, we've got a housing crisis at the moment. We've got people homeless. We've got people trying to afford things. The whole thing. It's it's a bit of a grim thing. It makes you angry.
People being homeless.
Yeah, well, trying to find housing, trying to apply for housing and everything here in Australia.
You apply
it's unreal. Yeah.
What's the situation there? How's that? What do you mean? Apply for housing?
So, me and my friends, we're trying to find a group house, going with my roommates and everything, trying to find a house at the moment. Going through the whole process of applying for rental property.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, live.
Is that through the government, or is that through is it a rental
No,
agency?
just the private market,
Okay, I see.
Go to inspections and everything, yeah.
Gotcha.
And look, the fuckwits that you have to deal with, the real estate agents and everything like that, it can be something else, I'm not going to lie. The amount of information they want from you, the upselling and everything, it's crazy out there. It's people eating each other alive.
How do they upsell you on housing? Do they offer heat as an additional comfort?
Well, what recently happened was we had some people applying for. Yeah, I went to an inspection and we had some people who were like, "Hey, this place is $600 a week. Can we be sneaky and increase? Can we pay you $50 more a week extra?" Which is completely against the law. And the real estate agent's like, yeah, just, put it in the application and everything like that. And it really, it stops us from getting a house pretty much because, we're trying to follow the rules, we're trying to follow the law and whatever's advertised price, but these people are just,
they just have
they're getting ahead of the game by breaking.
Don't you love those fees that are just like realtor fee? It's just this is just the fee that we decided as the realtors to make you pay extra. There's no significance beyond that.
Oh yeah. It's just sometimes it's just sneaky. A lot of the stuff they do. But anyway, a bit of backstory on my part is I was living by myself. I was a happy chap, and had everything going for me. But the city that I'm living in, Brisbane, we had floods. So my rental property got flooded out and everything like that. And that was okay. I cleaned it all up and everything. But then I started getting mold in the apartment and everything. And the real estate agent's like, "Hey, there wasn't mold in the apartment before. What did you do? Surely this is your fault." And I'm like, "Hey, the apartment got flooded. It's not my fault." And had to go through the whole process of that. Regardless,
you shouldn't even have to clean that. The property manager should be coming over with buckets and hoses, cleaning that out for you, even before the mold.
Yeah, exactly. So
you're living in a third world country, dude.
Oh, it's pretty bad over here at the moment. People are just tripping over themselves trying to find a place to live at the moment, and it's the whole economy, isn't it? It's inflation's all over the place, even in America, overseas, and everything. And I do feel for everyone that's trying to struggle at the moment, trying to put food on their table. I think that's what really makes me angry when people don't get a fair shake of the sauce bottle, as I would say in Australia.
Well, what put you in an advantageous position that you're able to live in a house?
Right now, to be honest, I've got a friend who's. Oh, what would put me in an advantageous position?
I was saying, what is now? You had it right. I was saying, what is it currently?
Oh, of course.
You've got a friend who has a house?
So right now, I was pretty grateful. Well, when I had to leave my flooded property, the moldy one, I was actually living in my car, so I had a bit of a taste of the homelessness for a good month. But then I had a good friend of mine who helped me out and put me up for lodging in his parents' house, kind of thing. But without my friend, I'd still be living in my car. I think my brother's living in his van at the moment. It's people pitching up tents in parks.
Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah. What is living in your car in Australia like? Where do you park? Do you park right outside the liquor store? No, I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. Where do you park?
There is a bit of a trick to it, I suppose. I mean, you'd probably find a good secluded street, like maybe a no-through road where you just, where not much people go through, and you can just park somewhere quiet and make sure no one's kind of harassing you. They say they're not to park in car parks because, people walk through there all the time, even at midnight. They knock on your doors and stuff like that.
And they'll report you? Like they'll call the cops on you? What's the fucking point of that, by the way? Like, if you saw someone sleeping in their car, if you personally saw someone sleeping in their car in a car park, would you call the cops on them?
Honestly, it's like, hey, they knock on the door and they're like, hey, you're sleeping here. And it's like, yeah, I know. I'm trying
to sleep
here.
What
do you want me to do?
It is crazy. I mean, like if you're not like, fucking, if you're like lighting up a crack pipe or like sharing a heroin needle, maybe someone get a little spooked. But if you're just a person sleeping in a car.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. I think a lot of the wealthier people, I'm not trying to put a blanket term on the wealthy people here or who's listening to the show, but sometimes they just don't want to acknowledge it.
If you're gonna do any kind of ism here, classism is the most acceptable one. I think we all agree. Rich people can get fucked.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, they have no concern about the lower class, I suppose. Some do, but yeah, and they just don't want to see it. They don't want to see people homeless in their backyards. If they're living right next to a park, they don't want to see people pitching their tents. But it's the nature of the beast. They should accept it. These are people, and them not recognizing that these are people, that pisses me off. I'm not going to lie.
Well, it seems like Australia would be a great place to be homeless. I mean, out of the whole world, like being in the warmer climates, at least.
Yeah, lots of fucking space as well, I would say. But it can get pretty humid. Like, I mean, you could coat the back of a spoon with the humidity. I mean, I think we got 100% humidity one night. It was crazy.
Then you don't even need to sweat. The air is just sweating for you.
Exactly. You don't even need to drink water because you just absorb all the air moisture and you're pretty much good. So good survivalist thing is in Australia. You can just be homeless and absorb all that water, I suppose.
So did you ever get into any like confrontations with people while you were living in your car? Like people who were knocking on your windows? Like did you just kind of just try to, did you leave cordially or did it ever turn into a thing?
I'm a pretty non-confrontational guy, so I try to avoid those kind of things. But the people that I did run into who kind of saw that I was living in my car, they were pretty happy to help. They're like, "Here, come over, have some like tea or supper, and have some water and everything. Fill up, have a shower, and all that."
Oh, that's
I
nice.
would say Australians are very pretty communal. They try to help each other out. I'm not going to lie, there are some crazy people like the one that called up, I suppose. No stress with that guy. I mean, I'm sure he's a good guy, but sometimes you get some loose wide guys, and but everyone tries to help each other out.
So You feel probably especially in that situation. I mean, when you called up here, you were saying this is your primary concern. Really, was this housing crisis, and it's because you've probably felt it in some way, in this way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose, yeah, I mean, that's just been on my mind because, I'm trying to find a place with my friends at the moment. And just the whole process is really, really acidic kind of bullshit kind of bureaucracy kind of thing. It's so, yeah, just annoying to say the least, I'll say.
I mean, hey, I'm in a similar situation to you where I also, in order to get my housing, takes mooching off of the people I know. I live in my brother's house right now. Soon I'm gonna be living in my friend's house. Like, I wouldn't want to have to find a place to live in America either. It's a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You have to have a regular income here, which is horrible. That's not what I'm about.
Yeah,
What's the information they really need from you in Australia that's different? Like, do they need like your Facebook or something?
This is actually funny. I was looking through an application with my friend, and they had the option to put your Instagram, your Facebook, and your
How could that possibly help?
And I was wondering, what I don't know. I mean, where's the option to put your OnlyFans account? That's the real question. I mean, that would really put you in the door.
But who would volunteer that? And there'd just be like a guy's looking through. It's like, oh, this guy looks pretty good on Instagram. Like, we could probably put him in this house.
Some people are pretty proud of their Instagram profiles, so you never know, I guess. But yeah, geez, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some applicants ask for your blood type or something. They ask for everything. They ask for like 4 references. I mean, come on, I don't even have 4 friends. What do you want from me?
Yeah, really.
But references, phone numbers. They automatically send them out. Pay slips, identification. It's crazy how thorough they are with that and how invasive. How much information they get from you. It's unbelievable.
They just want to make sure that they're going to be able to get as much money from you as possible, and just erase you from the list if there's any possibility that you're not going to give them a bunch of money.
Yeah, perhaps, or who knows, even sell your information to someone and get some money some other way.
Hell yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
All right, hey dude, thanks for calling in. It's good to talk to you, man. Good to get an alternate Australian viewpoint.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hope you have a really good night, whatever time it is over there.
Hey, you too, dude. It's like, what is it, 6 in the morning or something? 5?
Yeah, 5 or 6, yeah.
Dude, yeah, good luck with the rest of your day. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, man. Peace.
Okay. A couple Australians. It's 4 calls from Australia today. Any other international areas wanna represent? We've never gotten anyone from Asia. Maybe if you're Chinese or is this the same guy? Why does this keep happening? Who is this?
Call from
Noah.
Noah. Noah?
Yes.
Are you from Australia too?
No, I'm from America, but I live in Canada.
Oh, okay. I got an international number, and I was on the attack. To be honest, I was ready to.
Am I going to be charging your bill a lot?
No, I think you're going to get charged.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so we'll make this concise. What's up? What are you doing in Canada? Where are you at?
I'm in Ontario. I'm pretty close to the border. It's all right.
Cool. Are you a rageful Canadian or?
Yeah, I try not to be, but I just hate most things,
Tell us what's been bothering you lately?
The number one thing that's been bothering me, the only thing that's been able to get me screaming, getting people to tell me to shut up, has been wind. You know what wind is?
Wind?
Yeah.
No.
You go outside and you're like, oh man, this is so cool.
and then you're walking around, and there's this concept of just little tiny air particles moving really fast towards you, and they're all up in your face, and they're fucking pissing you off, and your hair's getting all over the place, and you're like, sorry, I'd love to have a conversation with whoever I'm walking with, but like, fuck.
Oh, wind.
Yes.
Like, yeah. I mean, you described it better than I ever could. Okay, I am familiar. Wait, what is that?
Really?
Wind.
Yeah. You know what wind is.
Yeah. So
then you know what I'm talking about.
Well, so people get mad at you, and how does wind play into it again?
No, nobody gets mad at me. I get mad at wind.
Oh, I see. Because it's like,
I don't like it.
Messing up your hair or your...
No, I mean, the hair, that's just like a small fragment of why I hate wind, you know? Like, imagine if you went outside and there was just like a guy following you around, like, whittling his little fingers in your face, like that's what wind is.
Or like he's just like blowing, air at you. Like if he's just...
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fucking annoying.
That's what it is, and people tolerate it. People like it even. It's like, a cool breeze, nothing like a cool breeze. It's like, I would love for nothing more than the air to be stagnant right now.
So where do you get, what's like, how do you follow that back to the source? What is the source of wind? How do you stop it?
I guess you could say that's my biggest frustration with life, is that I don't know. I have theories, but ultimately I have no idea.
I mean, this is the sort of thing, this has been going on. I mean, I've heard of wind before. I mean, I'm sorry I didn't understand exactly what we were talking about at first, but wind has been going on for centuries, possibly even millennia, and nobody's known what to do with it. So, like, do you think, like, maybe instead of overpowering it, it's just like something you must interpret to understand, or is it just...
Well, like it's a sign of some higher power?
Maybe. Or is it just a nuisance?
I mean, if the sign is that I'm doing everything wrong and they're punishing me with wind, then I guess I'm interpreting that in a way.
You've never had the wind at your back?
You know what? I guess there's been a few times that I've been facing away from the wind and it hasn't been that bad.
What do you think? I mean, what's the long-term solution here for wind? What's the short-term solution? What do you normally do with the wind when you're angered by it?
Well, usually I'm out walking with friends, and so there's nothing more than to change the topic of whatever, nice conversation we're having into how, filled with vitriol I am that this is a thing that we just tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many problems in the world that people are actively, pouring money into inventing new little apparati to solve, except nobody out there is like, wind needs to go. We need to figure out the machine that gets rid of all the wind. Like, you'd think that there'd be somebody out there, like some Silicon Valley guy off in San Francisco or whatever on his fucking stupid mud flat, building like a dome or something. I don't know. And another, I don't know.
It's like because they created wind turbines, but those seem to encourage the wind.
Do you think maybe the wind has gotten worse because of the wind turbines?
I exactly agree with you. Actually, it's like, those things they claim that they're spinning with the wind, but perhaps they are generating the wind.
Maybe they're maybe they're making wind to piss me off.
Mm-hmm. So
that's crazy.
How do we solve it? What do we do? Go underground? There's no wind under there.
Personally, that's what well, usually I like to go underground or inside, but sometimes there's still wind.
Inside?
It can get in. Like if for whatever reason, like you open the door.
Yeah,
like a draft. It's everywhere. It's like a vengeful spirit, or maybe maybe not vengeful. Maybe it's just trying to piss me off.
Is there any? I mean, I'm sure you've thought about this, at length. But do you think is there any alternative purpose or meaning behind wind besides it specifically existing to upset you? Do you think could there possibly be another reason that wind exists?
You know,
only because it existed because you were born. That's the only reason I think it might be that, is because, you know, it wouldn't be specifically based on you because it has existed for hundreds of years.
You know, sometimes I take solace in the fact that wind is an old concept, you know, that it wasn't just made to make me angry, but
traditional.
I think part of, a traditional thing. I've heard of this plant that uses wind to disperse its seeds.
What's that?
That seems pretty useful to that plant.
What plant is that?
I don't know.
A dandelion?
I think I've seen it. You know what? That's a good point. I was talking of like a tree type of thing.
Oh.
But dandelions definitely do that. But I will say, dandelions, they kind of piss me off too.
Allergies?
No, they're just, you ever go outside and it's like a nice green field and, oh, wait, no, it's not green, it's yellow because there's dandelions.
You don't like that?
I don't.
Dude, the world is kind of stacked against you, man.
It sure feels that way sometimes.
I mean, you sound like a young man. You're at least in the, I would say in the first half of your life, if I had to guess.
It depends when I'm going to die.
Yeah, I guess I don't know for sure. But what's the plan, man? I mean, you gotta figure this out, because wind, dandelions, trees, these are things that are not going away.
Not if I can help it.
I mean, what if they did? If you could somehow find the main wind generator at the base of the Washington D.C., because the United States obviously produces all the wind globally, but if you could stop it, I mean, people couldn't even sail anymore. There would be no more pirates.
There would be no more pirates?
I mean, they need the wind to sail, don't they?
God damn it.
I mean, these are things. There's cascading effects you have to think about.
You know what? You're right. Maybe I shouldn't be so selfish. Maybe I should be redirecting this anger into something more useful, like getting rid of dandelions. Because I don't think pirates need dandelions, do they?
No, nobody does. So that's a good directed use of your rage. Just pick dandelions. You could just weed fields.
I'm gonna start doing that.
All right, dude. Well, hey, I think this is a big W for the world and for you right now.
I sure hope so.
You don't sound convinced. If I'm being honest, you sound a little like you've been forced into this.
No, it's more so that I'm trying to turn a new leaf here, you know.
Do you think this is what it comes down to, changing your opinion on dandelions?
No, I don't think I'm going to change my opinion on dandelions. I think the new leaf I'm trying to change is to actively harm them, as opposed to just ruining the mood of every hangout I go to whenever I see a dandelion or experience wind.
All right, well, I mean, it's still a move in the right direction, direct your hatred outward instead of inwardly. Hurt the dandelions instead of yourself.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, good. All right, dude. Well, hey, thanks for calling in. Good hearing from you.
Yeah, thanks for talking.
All right, bye. Ah, damn. Oops. I might. Should we do one more? What have we done? 3 hours? It was 3 hours, but we did have a couple 30-minute calls, so maybe we'll do one more hour here. I'm going to take one more break. Oh, wait. This person.
Call from.
Rory.
Hello? What?
What's good?
How's it going? What was your name again? I didn't hear it.
Rory, sorry.
Rory, how's it going? We're talking rage today.
Rage? I got a topic for rage. First off, this is not my first time on an internet show. I have been on a Flat Earth talk show on YouTube
Fiverr?
before live stream. A what?
Did you say Fiverr?
No, a Flat Earth.
Oh shit! Nice.
So
Were you
this is not the first time.
Were you making great pro arguments?
I was. I think I was. I don't believe in Flat Earth, but I think my points made sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, now you can talk about whatever you want. This. You
Well,
can
I got a rage story. I
Okay.
got something for you.
Great.
I mean, it could be. Yeah. So I got an uncle, Uncle Ronnie. You call him Uncle Ron sometimes, but I call him Ronnie because I think it's funnier. And this dawned on me 6th grade when I had my first cigarette, is he didn't smoke normal cigarettes. He didn't. Because, so my one friend had got a pack from his brother, and we smoked some, and I was fucking scared. Because, like, I thought it was going to be crazy. I thought shit was going to get crazy. And she was making fun of me. She was making fun of me so fucking hard. Can I curse on the show?
Yes. As much as you want.
She called me a fucking pussy.
Oh.
Because I thought we were going to go fucking crazy. Because whenever he smoked some, like, fucking cigs, he went crazy. He would go in seats or throwing shit. He would start, like, one time there was like this rusted car, and there was no windows on it, but like he leaped through the window and tore his arm. Like you wouldn't think it would like be that fucking bad, but like he nicked something.
What would they? What is this? What substance is this?
I'm pretty sure he died. Not related to that, but he died of lung cancer.
That doesn't answer my question. What is this?
Yeah,
I want to know so we don't smoke it.
I'm pretty sure it was angel dust.
Oh
I'm
god.
pretty sure he was smoking angel dust cigarettes or something like that.
That's
So
not
like
cool.
I guess you can lace angel dust with anything, but like if
Mm.
he had cigs, and like I remember my fucking mom was always like, "Don't fucking smoke that shit," and I was like, "Okay, I won't smoke cigs." And then like my friend was like, "Nah, bro, it's not that bad for you. Like you won't get addicted." I was like, "I'm not worried about getting addicted. I'm worried about going crazy. I'm worried about like cutting my head off."
Right.
And he would like the whole rage thing. He would get fucking angry, or he would get like delusionally, like I don't know what emotions he was feeling.
It would make him actually insane.
It would make him.
It was
insane
beyond reason.
In the membrane. So I don't know if PCP is good for you, but it definitely can make you angry.
Sounds bad. Sounds really bad.
It is good to be angry sometimes. It's good to feel all emotions.
But do you think, like that level of anger, that like synthetically crazy anger, could that possibly be good for you?
It probably wasn't good. And he did die of lung cancer, but that probably also didn't help. Like, fuck it. Like, I don't know, being angry a lot probably doesn't help.
When do you get angry? What makes you angry personally, beyond accidentally smoking angel dust?
What gets me angry? Probably things out of my control. If it's not in like if like I broke my arm, I'd like I'm angry. I can't use my arm. This is out of my control. I have to wait. I ain't all about the waiting game.
That's like a frustration. Like.
Yeah, I get frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Do
like
people ever make you angry? Like, do people doing things to you or what?
They used to, but I like to get play angry with people. Like if someone actually does make me angry, I try to like instead of being like, oh, I'm so angry at them, I actually like in my head I try to go, oh, I'm so angry. I try to like it's like a joke, and it calms me down.
That works. You just get angry inside.
Like you kind of like angry like ironically as like a joke, and then it kind of just mellows me out. It's like you ain't that big a deal.
Well, maybe that's
I mean,
good.
it depends on what they do. It depends. If they like shot me, I probably would be like pretty angry.
That would be unforgivable.
that would be, I don't know, you know what, I don't know if it would be unforgivable, you know?
No, if someone shot you?
I don't know, I feel like it depends. Was it an accident? Even if it was on purpose, you know.
What if they did it just to piss you off? They just shot you in the foot just to make you angry.
For a while, I bet I would be, I would not forgive them, but maybe, I don't know, because like, life is long. There's a lot of stories of, you know, people forgive people for horrible stuff. Time heals wounds.
It's like a Christ-like thing to do, really, to forgive.
It is. It's good to be like Christ, you know? I don't know about all that Bible shit. I don't know if it's true, but, like, he seemed pretty cool.
The Bible would be a different story if it was like every time Jesus got slighted, he just fucking went off.
And did, like, crazy shit. Like, imagine if, like, he wasn't nice and he was, like, angry. Like, every time something, like, bad happened to Jesus, there was, like, 1,000 floods.
And that was like that's like the whole story is like people are just being mean to Jesus and he's like, I don't care, whatever. But like
whatever, I don't care.
It'll be, I mean, hey, it's
so basic.
It sounds bitchy in that way.
Yeah, y'all basic. I'm gonna go on my cross.
I'm the fucking son of God. Yeah, so maybe you probably shouldn't do that to me because my dad will fucking kill you.
Manager? My dad actually owns this company, so.
Dude, but that's the better option. Beyond,
Do you think heaven's really well decorated? Like, what do you think the decoration is like in heaven?
The decorations, the ornamentations around, like, what does it look like?
Yeah, like, what style do you think they got? Like in the big main, like the main stuff.
Kind of like, I kind of think like a castle, like a medieval castle, but it's got like, it's gothic, but it's got like modern lighting and stuff. So it's kind of like a mix of classic and modern, like a beautiful, tasteful mix.
What if it was like school lighting, or like Walmart lighting, like for whatever the hell that shit is?
There's like rooms for different people and their different preferences, but generally it's very tasteful. It's very classic. It's very nice.
I'd look forward to that if it was classic. Like,
but if you didn't like it, if you got there and you're like, oh my God, this is what heaven is lit like, they'd be like, oh, excuse me, sir, we've got a separate room for you over here with your perfect lighting. Looks just like Walmart.
Would that mean purgatory is like pitch black?
What?
What would purgatory be? Would it be like pitch black?
Yeah, I guess. Or pitch white.
Oh.
I guess that's not pitch.
Pitch white.
Regular white. Normal white.
Yeah, regular white.
Just like me. Hey, it's good talking to you, man. Thanks for calling in.
I wish you all a love for eternity. That's what I wish you.
Oh, thank you. I wish you the
The
same.
Earth might
I
not
wish
be
you the
flat, but it's fun to pretend. It's fun to play pretend. That's my message. That's my core message at the end of the day.
That's what we're all here doing, bro. Nothing wrong with that.
Goodbye.
All right, bye.
Forever.
Okay. Now I must pee. I will do a last little bit here. Might not be a full hour, but we will do one final round of calls after this break. Did I already play this one? Yeah, I did. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we are doing the very, very last portion of the call-in show today. Maybe just like 1 or 2 calls here before we call it quits. 518-288-7938. You can call in. Tell me about your rage or whatever. To be honest, I haven't been paying attention this whole time. What have the calls been about? I don't remember. Whatever. Who cares? I'll pay attention to you if you call in now. You know, but I'm also I got my SIG at the ready, so I'm to be fully honest, I'm ready to ditch at any moment. So you got about okay, here we go.
Call from
Justice and
Justice?
no way. I
Yo.
didn't think I was gonna get through.
Dude, you're in, you're on. What's up?
Nothing much. What am I rageful about? Well, to be honest, I'm this week I haven't been very rageful, but you know what gets me so worked up is the political and economical state of the world.
Oh, the whole world?
Yeah, the whole entire world. I'm like one of those people that constantly just gets in their head, and I just see the world changing so rapidly. And I've seen it since I was a boy, you know, since I was like 10 years old. I've seen it coming, and I really like the way you do your art, I have to say, and I think that you're very wise with the way that you say things.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not by choice, or you know, it's like it's by accident. Whatever it is that you like, it's a mistake.
I don't believe that, man. I really don't. I think that you're very whether you know it or not, I think that you have something that is kind of pulling you in a certain direction.
Oh yeah.
And
I do like to dog whistle. I like to dog whistle in all my stuff. The people who know, they know. The people who don't know, they don't know.
Right?
For real. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what's rage? What are you raging about now?
Oh, what's the most recent thing? Really, I'm just kind of pissed off because, you know, I'm in this point in my life where I'm 23 years old, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm from Cali. I just finally got like my life stable to the point where I have like a house I come home to. I'm comfortable, and I can do what I need to do. I can wake up early and I can go to work. Like I have stability, which I've never had in my life. Nice. And I'm gaining stability in the most unstable time, you know? I'm not really scared of nukes or anything, because if they go off, I'm going to be obliterated and it'll be just like that. But really, I don't want to go through this whole system change that we're going through with the money and just all of that. And it makes me so pissed off because I'm like, I have to work towards the freedom that I want in the middle of it being taken away from me, and I have to make all these decisions so rapidly.
Well, what do you think's going to happen? What's your big idea for the world in the next, you know, I assume you're talking about something in the next like 5 or 10 years. Are you talking about like societal collapse?
Yeah, and the thing is, that's what we all say. We say 5 to 10 years, but do we really think it's 5 to 10 years away?
I hope not. Wait, are you saying that's longer or shorter?
I'm saying it's shorter.
Oh, God.
I'm saying shorter.
I'm not ready for that. I don't want to do that.
I'm not either. You know?
Oh, God. How much do you think my YouTube account is going to be worth in the societal collapse?
Honestly,
less than nothing.
Who am I to say? But I will say that, like, you know what caught my attention? I loved your animations and whatnot. It was the, I can't remember what specific one, but it was really all of them that you did. And I even like Plague Roach, and I watched Dude the Hazmat and all that.
Dude, just to blow your mind real quick, that's not me, by the way. That's another man who does those animations, and his name is Drew Langlois, and he's a great dude.
You guys sound very similar with your voice.
Yeah, I could see it, but he's a different person. I just need to let you know and let the audience know whenever anybody brings that up.
So which ones do you do? Because you draw, right?
No. Okay. Now I'm gonna take myself down a peg. I don't draw at all. The only things I've ever done on my channel are all the audio stuff, and then occasionally I will like work with people who can do animations, and they animate things I've done the audio for, but I don't draw at all. It's not me.
Okay, well, I'll say I enjoy your voice acting.
Thank you.
It's really good. And I also do listen to your vocal stories or whatever you call them. I really like
the audio stuff.
I like the defense class training one. That's the best one.
Nice.
But
yeah.
Back to what I'm rageful about. Like, what do I think is going to happen? I don't know. This whole type of, we live in a society that like gaslights us 24/7. And I feel like I've been gaslit since I came out the womb. And my mind is on levels where like, I'm wondering how deep the gaslighting goes. Like, what if all of this, like what we see, coming, the danger, or what I see, the danger over the horizon, what if that's just like there so that I change my ways towards a more sustainable way of living that's more healthy for the environment and whatnot, and like instead of me just staying comfortable, like I'm saying I think that we're faced with, but that's I'm wondering if I'm like being gaslit to even make those decisions, like it's funny.
I think that like the environmental thing, like the gaslighting that's happening there has to do with like making people, it's still about keeping people dependent on institutional powers, where it's like what would actually be best for the environment and for individuals be like if every individual household could create their own energy and wouldn't have to be reliant on like a grid like that.
Yeah.
That would be great, because then it's like you don't have to depend on society for your energy. But the government doesn't want that. That is the opposite of what the government wants. They want you to be as dependent as possible on energy. So it's like they'll make the whole argument for environmentalism, but what it comes down to ultimately is like you will be dependent on us for everything that you need. Like even though it makes more sense from the environmental viewpoint, like that each individual should be responsible for their own energy, and that would obviously be a lot better for everybody in the entire world. So I think that's kind of like where the gaslighting is in terms of the environmentalism stuff, because we're going to see way more of that in the next few years. I mean, we're already getting it pretty hard now, but like
it's so bad. We've been getting gaslit for a while, like a long while.
Mm-hmm. And it just comes down to like you, the individual, must be 100% reliant on us, the institution, so that we can remain in power. Otherwise, what would be the point? What would be the point of the federal government if everybody could just make their own power and not need us? Like, we already built all the fucking roads. Like, what else do we need the government for?
I know, and see, roads was something I never really thought about roads, and that came into my mind just yesterday. I was like, oh, roads really don't take up that much space. And then like I was on like some part of the freeway here in Central Cali, and I was just like, honestly, what did this land look like before these roads were here? It's actually insane how much space we take up and how entitled we feel. But I'm not on the whole like new wave of I'm not with what the government says about sustainable energy and whatnot. That's a bunch of BS the way they sell it. I even work for an electric car company, and that's something I'm rageful about. I'm not going to say where, but you guys can guess. I literally can't talk about it. But I work for an electric car and EV company, and bro, they overwork us. I'm on an assembly line. They work us. What I agreed to was working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's what I agreed to. I said, like, that's what it is. They told us all of training, that's what it was going to be. And then once I'm on the floor, they asked me to do a little bit of overtime. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I really do need to get my money up. So I'll do a little bit of overtime. 2 weeks later, come to find out, every day is mandatory 10-hour shifts. You can work up to 11 hours. And then majority of Saturdays are mandatory too. So I'm working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. And like, if I need to go home early to handle some stuff, like I take care of somebody that has dementia. If I need to go home and handle that, they're like, oh, why do you need to go home? And it's like, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm an adult. If I need to leave early, I'm telling you I need to leave early, and I shouldn't get penalized for that. What I agreed to was, 8 hours. I may sound, some people may be saying, oh, you got soft hands, but no, for real, like, they treat you like slaves, and that's kind of where the society of what it's come to.
That's why, like, the whole push for automation, like what a godsend that is for rich people. Is like, finally rich people will have workers that can't complain. They're not allowed to complain. They're literally built so they can't complain. And they can be as efficient as possible without complaining. They don't have a life. They don't have anything that is of value. If they stop working, you just, take them out of commission. And I get very paranoid about this, and I've brought this up many times, and nobody seems to agree with me, that when automation really happens, there will be the greatest genocide the world has ever seen, because it will just be like, we no longer need people to create the things that we consume. We'll have robots. So what would be the point of having all those extra people? There would be no point. Like, they would just be taking up resources, and they could just, the powers that be can just make up whatever reason they want. They could just be like, and everyone's racist. They're horrible people. So we should just, we won't kill them. We'll re-educate them. But if they don't learn, then we will kill them and they'll be gone. Like, if they can't join society in the way that we accept, then they're the bad people and we should kill them.
I honestly, I see where you're coming from 100%, and I don't know how people can't see it. I feel like the people that don't see it are in denial. And there's a lot of people in denial nowadays.
They think that they won't be one of those people in the group of 1 to 5 billion people who the world decides to execute one day. Like, I'm not a racist. I couldn't be possibly framed as a racist.
No, you couldn't. But I was about to talk about that Cheese to Meet You comic. I know it wasn't you now that you
Did you get that one?
Yeah, I got it.
Dude, yes, nice.
It's really cool. I think you guys are hilarious, and I want to say something. I am black, so.
Dude, so like, that's a double endorsement for Cheese to Meet You.
Right. So like, I really do just enjoy, like, you and the people that you hang around. It's very nice, and so does my girlfriend who's Hispanic. She thinks you guys are hilarious too.
We're all the types that are just like against the huge institutions, the corporate type stuff, because that is like that. Money runs the world at this point. So it's just like, it's not governments. It's just, it is what makes the most money has the greatest say in the world.
That's the sad truth, which is why, like, I don't want to give into this Fed now BS. I really don't want to give into it. Hopefully a way is made for me,
It's funny what you're talking about, though. Like, it does kind of feel futile, like you're doing your best to succeed in this system of rules, but then perhaps this system of rules will become obsolete in a few years. Like, that's an upsetting thought.
It is. I will say, though, working around, because my job has robots and whatnot, I do think, as far as, like, well, there is AI, right? And AI is progressing, like, super fast. And that's another thing that just pisses me off because, like, I was born in 99. Everyone's talking about Terminator. Everyone was afraid the world was going to end in 2000. And you guys don't make AI. Like, and we all know what's going to happen. You guys put in a movie to show us what's going to happen, and you still fucking do it. That's what angers me to my core, but it's also kind of funny, you know?
Mm-hmm. Terminator kind of skips, because you talk about like Terminator 2, I bet. That's the 90s Terminator. But
probably
it does that thing where it skips the step of like all of the rich people who would benefit from automation and AI. In Terminator 2, it's like we skipped ahead. It's like the robots, took over and they're in charge of everything. But like that doesn't just happen automatically. It's because there is a ruling class that will use the robots and automation and AI to eliminate the lower classes, and then the robots will take over.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Where I work, you see these robots, they claim that one of these robots is like $6 million each, but they break down every like 5 minutes, every 15 minutes, and a human has to come and clean them up or make sure that a sensor's working or something like that. We're always the ones that have to fix it. So as far as the physical robots, I don't see them really being a problem. Also, there's tons of videos circulating. Not right now. I'm saying not right now, but in the future I can. Right. But like there's even videos circulating of them just collapsing and giving up when forced with like physical labor. So I think that's pretty interesting.
It's definitely like it's early enough that it's like, we can't see that. But like imagine the world of just like automated drone surveillance, like just having drones buzzing around 24/7, taking camera footage of everything and like reporting that through systems to just be like so that like there is no longer privacy. There's just like you've got everything is recorded all the time. People have all their fucking rings, like the video doorbells now. That's a huge thing in the suburbs. It's like the amount of space in the world that is not being videotaped 24/7 is rapidly shrinking.
Right.
Scary.
Right.
It's freaky.
And what, like Sweden, this is one of the last things I'll mention, but like Sweden's one of those places that I always wanted to visit, but it kind of just pisses me off because they were one of the first people to just jump on this, the transhuman agenda where they decided to put chips in their hands to use for RFID like locks and keeping their data and all that stuff. They jumped on that so quick before what even happened a few years ago. They were already on that, and it's like a lot of these people that are in the big three letters right now, but a lot of these people that are in that, they're from that area, and a lot of stuff goes down in that area, and there's CERN and all that stuff. There's just a lot going on, bro. And I think that it's not just AI. It's distracting us from something that's going on cosmically, and I'm not like a religious person. I am a spiritual person. And I will just say, like, even though I am nervous about all this stuff, I do have faith that, like, something will happen to where like freedom is still an option. Maybe it won't be the easiest for everybody, but if you want it, like you will be presented with the opportunity. And I really hope that. I really do.
So if you say that like you're a spiritual person, is that what you're talking about when you're saying freedom is an option? Is it something that is outside reality?
No, I'm not on any Kool-Aid drinking type stuff. I just mean like, look, I don't think that we know what the planet looks like exactly. I'm not going to be one to say that it's flat per se, but I don't know. We don't know what the planet looks like. We don't know what space really is. And I don't think we know everything that is above us. I don't even think we know everything that's on the ground. I've seen a lot. I'm like a person who's not necessarily chronically on the internet, but the amount of stuff I've seen is pretty trippy. Like, I wonder if my phone's fucking with me sometimes, or if like the stuff I'm seeing is real. I've seen multiple people apparently show like them using telekinesis, and I know this sounds wild. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff going on right now involving space and even time, especially since they're playing with a particle accelerator. So, like, we really don't know what's happening.
You know what the next frontier is? The ocean.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Like we're gonna go out in space, but we have no idea what the hell's in the ocean. Like, we have 70% of our planet is oceans and shit, and we've never been like, we can't go down there. It's like physically impossible to this point. But like, what the hell's going on in the ocean? What the hell's going on down there?
And now they're saying all this stuff is coming out the ocean and whatnot. And I have to ask for people to hear me say, just because they're saying that, okay, before I was born, whenever y'all were talking about UFOs, they wanted to call you crazy. Okay? Now when I'm alive and I'm an adult, they want to talk about it all the time. They want to tell you where it's coming out of. Why are they telling us now?
Now it's China. Anytime you see a UFO, no, I mean not really, but that's like the explanation. You see a UFO, it's like it's a Chinese surveillance device.
Exactly. Like, no.
It's just propaganda. No. Whatever people see can be turned into propaganda.
Exactly. And that's why I'm not scared of the news. I honestly, I mean, nobody's going to be cheering if I'm wrong, but I don't think that nukes are going to go off. I really don't think that that's an option.
Dude, but what about the atmospheric detonation? The atmospheric detonation of a nuclear weapon causing an EMP across the United States and Canada, eliminating the internet and our power sources. Hey, you don't think this is a real concern? I think about this every day.
I think about stuff like that too, but I think if we get an EMP, it's going to be from the sun. If you look into the
solar flares. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Coronal mass ejections, those could wipe us out like so easy if we just like the ozone is actually deteriorating, and I don't think it's from us. I think it's from the radiation from the sun.
Even if it didn't kill us, like the concept of like the power of the world just going out globally, you know, like it would take how many days? Like 3 days before that turned into a global world war chaos situation. Like if everyone's power went out, like how long would any society last where all of the systems just disintegrated? Like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, maybe? Like how long are people going to be like, it's okay, the internet's going to come back next week, before they would just be like, all right, well, I guess it's showdown time. It's time to fucking act like it's the end of times and just start killing people and stealing things. Like, how long would that take? Less than a week, right?
Less than a week, yeah. But you'd have to, if you wanted to survive that, you'd have to stay inside for like at least a month.
Inside, you'd have to be like digging towards the center of the earth. You'd have to get a bunker going that is beyond belief.
I agree.
Even in the suburbs. I mean, I'm in the fucking suburbs, but it's like if everyone's power went out, they'd be like, the first day would be like, oh man, the power went out. That's crazy. The second day would be like, oh shit, I hope it comes back soon. The third day is just everyone's killing each other.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it wouldn't happen that fast in the suburbs. I feel like give it like...
I would do it. I would start it.
Give it like 5 days. People would be barbecuing the first 2 days.
See,
you know?
I would know it'd be the 5th day, so on the 3rd day, that's when I would strike to get a preemptive strike going on the suburbs.
Oh, God.
And that's just how I think, and I'm a perfectly sane individual. But if that was the scenario, it's like, hey, the power's gone and it's not coming back any time that we know of. You'd be like, well, I guess it's time to go back to ancient times and just kill and steal and hoard and hide.
Yeah, and pillage and all that horrible shit. I've been thinking, what is there any anti-EMP like stuff that you can buy?
I don't know. Oh, maybe like if you have a Faraday cage, Like if you line your house with aluminum foil. I don't know. I don't know if that works.
That's taking like tinfoil hat to a whole different level.
Exactly.
That's serious.
You could just start wearing only tinfoil outfits, and it's important. It's important. I don't know. It's like a sort of thing I would never prepare for in reality, but it's just something I am paranoid about. If it did happen in reality, I would just be like, oh God, I guess my life is over. It's time to become someone's sex slave.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, see, that's what I'm scared of, too, because it's already bad enough with that. And, like, the world ending, it would become so much worse.
Oh, yeah. It'd be way more sex slaves.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
really
good talking to you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been an honor speaking to you and getting to know you. So,
hey,
have a good one.
Yeah.
We all get up another time.
You too, dude. Good talking to you. Bye. All right, nice. That was a good, substantial, long call. We're going to end it on that. Thank you, everyone who called in tonight. Sorry if I was rude at any point tonight. I think I was okay. I don't think I said all the rude things I was thinking. No, everyone was nice to talk to. Had a great show tonight. We're talking about Rage. We had a fun time. Again, this show is sponsored by Chunk. chunkmonthly.gumroad.com. You can sign up for a monthly thing. It's $10 a month. You get physical media in the mail every month. Comics, zines, CDs, and more. This month, if you sign up anytime in April, you'll be getting a 32-page full-color comic from Front Porch, who is an amazingly talented artist/animator, who I didn't link in the description of this video, but I will do it as soon as it's over. He's got a great YouTube channel with lots of short animations, and this comic is honestly just fucking, it's brilliant. It's incredibly good, and I highly recommend you purchase a physical copy of it, but I'm sure it'll be available digitally, in the not too distant future. If, you don't have $10, which is fine. Not everybody has $10 every second of every day. But if you do, you should spend it. You should send it to us. Because it goes to me and MoxieFamous, who prints the comics and trims them and all the processing, and it also goes to Front Porch, who made the comic. What do you think about that? What a great arrangement. Everybody's getting money. Right? Okay, anyway. chunkmonthly.gumroad.com. chunkmonthly.gumroad.com. All the music from the stream has been coming from the upcoming Signal Return Episode 7 Extended Release CD, which is also a Chunk release. That'll be going out in a couple weeks here. And you can check the description of this video for links to the artists who made the songs that you're listening to on the stream. I will make them more specific after the stream is over, and I can do timestamps and all that shit, and you can see who made what song. Right now it's just a list of artists. But anyway, it's good talking to y'all. I'll be back in a week or two with another one of these shows. And I feel like, I don't know what we learned. But we basically learned that Rage is wrong. You're not going to gain anything from Rage. Probably. Unless you like, I don't know. There probably is a way to gain from something from Rage, but currently in our current society, it's just it's just better to just beat it. Like Michael Jackson said, you want to be bad, but just beat it. That's going to be a lot more rewarding for you later on. All right. All right. Good talking to y'all, and have a good Sunday evening. Bye-bye.